Yo!
Hi.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That'll wake you up.
Yeah, well.
You can get enough coffee. There you go.
Hellblade 2 Prologue Shadow Drop. Let's go.
Oh, that would be fun. Just to get like a little tech demo, walk around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're Easy Allies. We're getting ready for this Xbox Gamescom showcase.
Let's talk Xbox.
Let's do it.
Yeah, actually, kind of. It's funny because they're flying around Germany, and it's so weird because like Gamescom as a show isn't really happening. I don't know. I don't really fully understand like what the show period is like after opening night live. I know there's like a virtual indie thing.
You don't understand it because you're American. This is a European show, and I think that is why you're feeling a disconnect.
But yeah, so but otherwise, like the schedule essentially lines up with the way it's been in the past, where it's like, okay, we would have press conferences on like Tuesday and Wednesday, and then they would have an opening ceremony. In the past, it was Thursday morning, but now we've got the Jeff show for opening night live.
The Jeff show has Shredder's Revenge, so that to me is the main event.
The Jeff show has Elden Ring.
It used to be.
Oh my God.
It used to be EA and Sony that always had press conferences every year, and then Capcom jumped in at least one year with like Remember Me and some other stuff, and Xbox eventually jumped in, and then everybody else bailed, and Xbox is still doing it. And then the Jeff show. Everyone just joined the Jeff show.
I'm surprised he's not opening it up.
Well, this is the thing. It's like E3, right? So where you'd have the conferences and then you'd have the show, and so the idea with opening night live is it's the night before the show floor opens. So.
There was a Magic the Gathering stream today?
Oh yeah.
MTG hype.
I always assume that there's some MTG thing happening in the background.
Every day.
Yeah.
This is like early
times.
morning for us. So
It's,
Yeah.
had to get up at 8 a.m.
Yeah. 7 for me.
7,
Yeah.
yeah, to get up at 7.
I got it at 7. But
Yeah,
yeah,
we're
Sitting in traffic.
it's 7 p.m.
Sitting.
in
Oh,
Germany.
yeah, you're going the wrong direction.
Oh, yeah. Swim upstream, Kingfish. It's out of control out there. It's a war zone.
My traffic was wonderful coming from the north.
Aside from Flight Simulator, Ben was saying Halo's got a good shot of being in this.
No. Guaranteed.
Yeah, Halo guaranteed.
It's not a
Yeah,
good shot. It is 100%.
It would be strange if Halo wasn't here.
Forza Horizon 5 is certainly going to be in here.
Yeah.
Dying Light 2 sent out an email that they're going to be in this, so
Well, that's a good indication.
that's for sure.
I feel like Battlefield is going to show up, too.
That could be good.
I feel like Battlefield's going to
makes sense.
sneak in.
Yeah. Battlefield makes a lot of sense. 2021 games. They're going to focus on 21 games, is what they said. So it's going to be a lot of stuff that updates on things you know about.
Yeah.
Did anyone say Hellblade? Because it's been a while.
But they've also,
can't wait
like,
to
after
see
all
more.
that time, said we're just getting started. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pretty
Yeah.
early.
I don't think you'll see
Ooh, No Man's Sky expansion showing up. That's more a Jeff show, maybe, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was here.
Yeah. Yeah, with the partners and stuff, it's kind of hard to predict.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
What third-party stuff could be here.
Scorn, dude!
Scorn is actually not a bad pick.
With Dying Light 2, it's so weird because I'm really excited for that game, but the way that they've been drip feeding information has been like
troubling.
It's just like you watch a Dying Light thing and you're like, okay, I learned nothing. Like it's just like the value that you're getting out of so many of the updates are not great.
I know there's like
And they've been calling
factions.
their showcase things the Dying to Know series.
All right. Game Pass, for sure they're going to be hawking that Game Pass. Game Pass is a great value.
Dude, I
got like a
can't.
scam likely bugging me. Yeah,
Skyrim fishing, will we see
I
it?
cannot believe they're making another edition of Skyrim. Like it's
That's
amazing. That's that's the best joke of 2021.
I think we'll see some fishing.
But like,
for sure.
They've already made jokes about how many editions of Skyrim there
we're
are,
post.
and then they made more.
I know. Like we're
just
post.
like, what? You made fun of yourselves already.
They went from like self-aware. It's like circled back around on itself in the most beautiful way.
They're post-ironic.
And like, I can't wait to push it
post-ironic company.
Yeah, it's so great.
But that's the thing that's weird too, is because they just had QuakeCon, so Bethesda is not going to have
I don't even
a
know
whole
that's
lot.
Possible.
I mean, I've played like the first couple of hours, but
yeah,
I've played it. I've just not given it a real sit down. Didn't like it.
Something about that stage makes me feel like he's standing. The stage design, when it was zoomed out, it looked like an open mouth with like an olive or something.
Was the man the olive?
No, the Xbox logo.
Remember this kind of shit?
This is past years.
Yesteryear.
Dude, this is like nostalgia vibes.
The before times, dude.
Inside X.
Man, the Inside Xbox stuff from what I've been able to see is like always so awkward. Like no one is ever feels like they're like 100% comfortable being there.
It feels like a commercial kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a weirdly like it's strange because they all are essentially, but Xbox ones really, really feel that way.
I mean, everything's a commercial depending on your point of view.
I'd love to see a little Redfall. It might be a little too early, but I'd love to see a little gameplay. It'd be a cool.
Oh, the vampire running around one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It'd be a really cool Gamescom opener. I feel like.
I forgot what that game was.
Yeah.
For a minute.
I think it'd be cool.
Oh, Uden Chronicle, dude, that'd be sick.
Yeah. They're going all in on this fridge stuff, man.
The world's before. When in doubt, when you don't have a lot to show, make jokes.
Xbox and chill.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. You can't get a fucking Xbox, but you can get a fridge that looks like an Xbox. I'm starting to think about trying to get a Series X, actually.
Are they smart fridges, though? Could you install Windows on it?
Man, I use my Series X all the time.
Same.
Dude, I have Game Pass Ultimate. Maybe twice. Their confusing billing may have resulted in me paying for it on my own PC and Sophia's Xbox One.
I'm just amazed.
A little unclear.
Because, like, Quick Resume is something that when they were talking about it, I just didn't pay much mind to it. Mm-hmm. I use Quick Resume all the time, and I love it. And I wish everything had it.
It's a fantastic console.
And Psychonauts 2 is GOATY, so there you go.
Oh, you got Game Pass from work? Dude, Psychonauts 2 is looking cool.
It's incredible. It's an incredible game.
I never played one, but...
like I said in my review, it's like the kind of game that comes out like 2 or 3 times in a console generation. Like, it's super special. Yeah.
I saw that review.
Yeah. You did a wonderful edit on it.
I saw that review.
I saw that review. Intimate knowledge of that review.
Yeah, Bloodpack voted for me to finish up the first Psychonauts, so I'll be streaming that later this week, and then
nice. Where are you at
after
in
I
Psychonauts
finish? I mean, I only did like the first 3 hours on the stream, so
okay.
Nadine.
Not too deep.
That's definitely a game that gets better as it goes along, and like some of the best stuff is at the end.
Yeah, that's what that's why people were voting for me to like keep going on it.
Yeah.
Nier Automata, the end.
Because I wasn't really feeling it in the first 3 hours.
Yeah.
How close to a 10 were you? Pixelated.
0.5 away.
0.5 away?
0.5.
Yeah.
No, I was like, it was definitely a review where like the second I finished, I was like, yeah, it's a 9.5. Like I felt very confident about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like when I asked, because like whenever scores get that high, I'm like, you sure? You sure about that? Mm-hmm. And you had no hesitation.
9.5 is a pretty high score. This is a pretty good score.
I was telling my wife, I was like, there's definitely sometimes you do a review and you're like, I wonder how other people are gonna feel about it. And you're like, I could definitely see somebody like either enjoying this and I didn't enjoy it, or like not enjoying it and I enjoyed it. With Psychonauts 2, I was like, everyone's gonna love this, and if they don't, they're just wrong. Like.
Can you hand me those glasses?
Well, I kind of had sort of the opposite effect with Hua. I think people are telling me it's the correct way of pronouncing it.
Hua?
Yeah.
Okay.
The HOA, which hilariously, I Googled it, and now like I'm getting ads for like homeowners associations or something.
For like condos.
But yeah, it's like I just finished that game and like, man, I feel like nothing, and I actually went from like feeling kind of nothing to feeling like frustrated at the end with it. Mm-hmm. And I was just second guessing myself because I would look back at the footage like, man, this looks so cool.
Yeah.
Why does it not feel so cool? And then I found out that like something went stupid with my capture, and it all had no audio, so I had to go back and replay the whole thing.
Oh my god.
And capture it.
I've had that happen.
And it just confirmed to me that like, yeah, it just isn't.
Yeah.
It's not that fun. And it's just, and it's a bummer. It's a bummer when you have like a small game like that you're looking forward to, and then it just feels so empty.
Well, the hardest is when you like don't feel any strong emotions during your review process, where like you're not mad at it, but you don't love it, and then like trying to make the writing interesting, but also convey that is.
Yeah.
Battletoads. I felt nothing then.
Oh yeah.
I was, man, I was really looking forward to Battletoads.
It was okay.
I do not like that
Okay.
that new game. I don't like it.
Man, I don't feel anything.
Scalebound 2. I would love it if we got a Scalebound 2 announcement.
Skip 2.
That's
to
so
2.
funny.
Really
And you know what would be great is, because you always get the question, do I need to play X before this?
Right.
And like you'd get people that wouldn't know about Scalebound 1. They're like, should I play Scalebound 1?
And then the answer would always have to be
Yes.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Essential.
Essential.
You will be so confused.
It's on Game Pass.
Yeah. Only in certain regions. Yes, we will be reacting to the Jeff Keighley show.
Shredder's
Tomorrow.
Revenge.
And the Kyle show before the Keighley show.
Oh lord.
Miss it.
That feels weird that we're reacting to a Kyle show.
I'm just there for Elder.
I'm curious how
Shredder's
involved it is.
Revenge. I don't care who gives it to us.
Oh man, that was the worst ever. That just flew way over there.
But yeah, death to official pre-shows.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this kind of thing is fine. This is whatever. But
Blood
I
is
mean,
a stalwart champion against
I can't hear
pre-shows.
shit.
it's muted right now.
Oh,
I
it's
think.
muted.
Blood wants
Well, that
them
explains that.
eradicated. Blood has a personal grudge against pre-shows. And I'm here
Dude,
for
most
it.
pre-shows are trash.
Yeah.
Remember the Ubisoft one that was just dudes walking forward for?
I actually kind of appreciated how dumb that was. though.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you can be so nothing that it's funny.
What's worse to me is when the upload that goes up on YouTube later
Oh.
retains
Yes.
the 50 minutes of just counting down.
And you're like so excited to watch something, and then it's like, oh, like half of this is just the stream starting
just the
soon
stream
thing.
starting
It's like
soon.
you couldn't
It's like,
get.
edit it out.
Yeah, you're like a giant company.
They
You don't have
did.
the
They
time
did
to-
say with Xbox that the one going on YouTube later will be full 4K
Ah.
because you can only really stream in 1080.
Group
So.
stream tonight at 6 is
From home.
from home because it's the online
Team.
Alien
Aliens,
Fire
yeah.
Team.
Oh, Kotarna's here.
But before that, Damiani, Don, and I are playing Quake.
Oh damn! I'm so jealous.
I love Quake, dude.
Well,
Are
can-
you-
You
are
can
you
stick
doing-
around if you want.
I like Quake more
Are you
than
doing single player or are you doing multi?
we're playing it on the Xbox Series X, so we'll see.
You'll do both.
We'll probably do whatever. Yeah.
When the
We'll
way
take a
the
crunch.
U.S. and Canada were mashed together like that, I first saw like, who's Canada? What?
Give it time. Give it like 600 years. They'll be in Canada.
I'm excited.
There's the Dom.
This is
I've been
great.
inside that.
Let's all
Yeah, going up to the top of that is awesome.
look at some video games.
Man, I really need to give Flight
Let's all
Simulator a
look
spin
at some video.
Yeah,
at some point.
you need to put in a little work
Yeah.
Hello.
just to know what the crap you're doing. But
Choose.
Hello,
Like, that's
everyone,
about-
and welcome
Paris.
to our Gamescom
I am getting, like,
2021
no
Xbox stream.
We've got
Oh,
so
really?
many great game updates to share with
Damiani,
you today.
do you
We're
have
talking
audio?
Age of Empires 4, Psychonauts 2, and my personal favorite, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Later on, we'll take an extended look at Forza
It's just,
Horizon
like,
5.
only
There's
coming out of
so much
one
going
side,
into
and it's
this,
really
and
faint.
Playground Games'
Yeah,
vision
when
of
they get
Mexico
split,
is
that's
muy, muy
Yeah.
bonito.
And we'll be
Yeah,
doing
it's
our
still coming
first
out on one
look
side,
at
but
the
it's
cover
louder,
art
which
for
is
the
fine.
game.
Yeah, I think that's
I got
your one
5
side's
bucks
just
on
the
it,
splitter
being one
thing.
of
Some of
the
the
securities
splitters
that you see
just
piled up on the
fucking
sidewalk.
Will Kate win $5? I guess we're about to find out.
Yes, indeed. Our Xbox Plays team will also chat with devs and deep dive into current and upcoming games all week on
Oh,
twitch.tv/Xbox.
for a second I was like, oh, this
Let's
thing's
get
gonna
started with Techland and their upcoming zombie
Oh.
hardcore sequel, Dying Light 2: Stay Human.
Called it. Nice one.
Techland.
Stay human.
Hello,
Hey, bro,
I am
stay
Timon
here.
Smektawa,
think
Dying
it's weird
Light
that they
2
added
lead
that.
game designer, and this
Don't really need
is
it.
David
The first
Never
Mendes,
spent a
timeline
lot
is
on
so
director.
good.
Hi.
It
we
is
can't
really
wait
so
until
good.
December 7th to
Can't write this
finally
one
give
off.
you Dying Light 2
As
Stay
someone
Human.
who has to
The
write
game
titles
we
into
have
very
been
short
working on
spaces.
really hard for the
Unnecessary
last few
text.
years.
We're hoping the gameplay video you're about to watch will give you a foretaste
Dying
of
Light
parkour
2,
and
stay
combat
human,
systems
don't
waiting
become
for
a
you in the
zombie.
game.
And we are just about
Apocalypse.
to enter the city.
How about Final
fighting
Fantasy Crystal
our way
Chronicles: The Crystal
through
Bear?
its
Oh, with
brutal
Square
and
Enix, I mean, you're
dangerous
just, when it comes to
Square
Square
Enix
Enix, you're
You will
just fucked,
see in a
dude.
moment there are
That
plenty
is a
of
very
things you
Resident
can
Evil
use to
fan.
your advantage. So watch closely, look for special combat and parkour moves, and check out how with just a bit of creativity you can combine the two. Ready?
The guy
Let's
was
go.
staring us down while he was talking.
Sometimes I wonder what this city looked like before all this.
Detroit?
Probably like many others.
Sounds kind of like him.
People
but
had their
sounds
ambitions.
like each other.
Plans, lives.
No,
Now
it's
it's all gone.
It's the Dying Light 1
The
guy
virus
who
started,
sounds like Troy Baker,
But it was the
but is
people
not
who
Troy
made the
Baker.
world the way it is. This city, Villador.
I think.
They tell me they had a vision. They had hope.
I've never seen people put
Soon,
soda on a burger
one
sign.
vision
Soda
broke into
post-apocalyptic
many
burger
different ones.
joints.
Yeah. Oh.
My faves.
When I think of video game burger places, I just think of Burger Shot. Every time.
Whoa, there's a hamburger
Instead
for
of
you.
fighting together, people stood against each other.
That's GTA.
War broke out.
Is that Forbin?
GTA. I think of GTA 3 when I think of Burger Shop, but yeah, it's multiple.
I never have played the first game, but I'm curious. if
Dying
it's-
Light?
Yeah.
So fun.
I played it a little.
So fun.
Yeah, it is. It's.
Love it.
But I can't
Oh,
let that
shit.
I
happen.
remember Brandon reviewed it and he like
Yeah.
wasn't that into it, and it kind of like
Yeah.
turned me away from it. And then I revisited it recently, and I was like, oh no, actually I really like this a lot. I'm sure that like years of updates helped,
Yeah.
but
This
had a
Mirror's
rough
stuff
launch.
looks
I
great.
have to
Yeah,
pick a
Mirror's
side.
Edge, like,
The Bazaar
great.
needs good people.
You're doing great so far.
I'm
Really?
curious, are there people from one of those Mirror's Edge
I have
teams
to
on
make
this
a
team?
difference.
I was gonna say this is straight up Mirror's Edge.
Let's check and see.
I mean that's
Still updated this game.
that's
for
like
years.
the best part of the first game is just how essential parkour is and how it plays into everything.
Chicken pie.
Chicken
They say that
pie.
great change is a series of small gestures.
Oh man.
The glider,
Instant
actually.
about
parachutes
these
are always
stories?
hilarious to me.
I think it was a glider.
Whoa.
Weight. You feel the weight in the melee hits. It's so good. Really good combat.
Yeah, this does look good. A drop kick.
Oh, breast knuckles.
Stream's buffering that hard. Not buffering.
Strict compression.
Is all
Bit
hope
right, yeah.
really gone? We'll see about that.
Well, that was an exciting trip, wasn't it, Timo? Did you notice those bandits in
We'll see
medieval-like
about that.
armor
Well, that was a
costumed
really
by
exciting trip.
skyscrapers, banks, and large billboards? That's what we call a modern Dark Ages.
And it's a very unique design, one very important for the
Yeah, it looks
plot
like
of
an
Dying Light 2. But there's another thing that stood out to me, all those parkour moves that you and your team has put so much effort into.
Well, all you need is a few thousand of animations, cooperation with professional tracers, mock-up sessions, and valuable help from David Bell, whose face and moves player will see in the game, by the way.
No, yes, right. And we've got twice the number of parkour moves compared to the first game, and we are showing some of them in this trailer. The vault kicks being the most important to me personally.
Man, Dying Light had
It
like a
brings
bunch
whole
of
new fighting
crossovers.
style
Like there
into
was
the
a
game.
Rust
The player
crossover
can
and
stagger an
Left 4
enemy
Dead
and use them
crossover.
to
Oh.
perform
Well, and I think they,
further
like,
attacks.
did
For example, by
some
rebounding from their bodies, jumping
expansions
of
or
them
side
onto
games or
other
whatever,
foes,
but then they, like,
and so on.
Put
I
them
think we
into
cut
the
Well,
main
they were
game.
gonna
really
do
well.
yes.
And made it
They were
quite
gonna
simple
do
for the
this
players to
fantasy
perform.
game, and it was
I
gonna be its
can't
own
wait for
thing.
them
But then
to
they
try
just
it out
made it
and tell
DLC
for
for
themselves how much
Dying
they
Light
Yeah.
1. Yeah.
It's definitely going to be useful. The city's buildings are higher than anything we have done before, improving its verticality. Players will need to find a way to reach those tall skyscrapers and other challenging spots too.
Then it's good we scattered some helpers around, like a paraglider, which can support players in both
okay.
parkouring
There you
and
go.
combat.
Exactly, and it's gonna do great, especially
So we
in
were both
fights
right.
against
It's a
humans,
parachute
which are
glider.
more frequent and important than in Dying Light 1. It's been over 20 years since the events from the first game, so people adjusted. They are much bolder now, at least during the day.
And they are more vicious too.
And I think that's a great summary of this discussion. Pre-order Dying Light 2
That's funny to
and
hear
explore
because
its
like
vast,
people are
complex world on
extremely bold in
December
Dying
7th.
Light 1, and so it's like
Thanks, David. Thank you.
But
them
the
say
zombies only do shit at night, right?
no.
They're stronger at night.
They're
Oh,
stronger.
they're
at night.
stronger at night.
Yeah, I mean they're whether it's day or night though. I mean
For the
they're
first
everywhere.
time in the storied history of the franchise, Microsoft Flight Simulator launched on a home console with the release on Xbox Series X and S last month. Reviewers and gamers alike were blown away by how well the stunning visuals and the depth of the simulation translated to the console, and that's why I'm extremely honored to welcome the head of Microsoft Flight Simulator, York Newman, to the stream.
Okay.
York,
We're gonna
thank
do
you
like a
for
little
being
depth to
here.
everything.
The last time we met was at the Xbox
Mr.
Game
Newman.
Showcase, and it was getting ready to come out on consoles. How did that go?
It went great. As you said, the reaction to the Xbox console
So
launch
funny,
was,
you can hear the
was
difference
really
in
just
just where their
amazing.
mics are placed.
Both from Xbox
Because
gamers
his
and
is
from
under
the
his
press,
chin,
they've
so
been
you're
so
getting a lot of
gracious
the
with their
bass and
feedback.
mids, and
I don't know if you know,
highs
but
are
we,
missing the mic,
Flight
and his is
Simulator
lower,
is one
so
of
the
the
highs are
highest
hitting the
rated
mic
games
more.
on Xbox this year.
Yeah,
which
that's
I think
really
is just
clear
great
on
validation
my one side.
that the translation of the simulation
I mean, I'm
to the
only
console
one
has really worked well. Our usage numbers are through the roof. We are absolutely shattering franchise records, and I can tell you, there have never been more people playing Flight Simulator than right now. So it's an awesome time.
Are we
is
going
awesome.
to get a Flight
Congratulations on the
Simulator
launch,
Crimson
really.
Skies crossover?
That would be kind of cool. Uh-oh.
All right.
Oh, is this the Top Gun?
Yeah.
Into the danger zone.
Yeah.
So what's going on with Top Gun?
There's so much going on, Paris. So you and I talked about Top Gun Maverick earlier.
Yes,
the
this is the
fans are
main
super
show.
excited. They saw the
But I
F-18. They
understand your
can't wait to
confusion.
start flying. And as you know, it
At
comes
least
out later
they
this
don't have
year.
a crowd of
It's free
people
DLC,
around anymore.
Yes,
alongside the
Pandemic has
movie.
nixed that.
But
That
as the
is-
movie is still
I
on the
feel
wraps,
so
It was
bad.
always so
early,
awkward
so I
because
can
they would
still
like
not
be
tell
in
you
the
that
middle
much
of
about
everybody.
it.
Yeah.
But there's so much
feel
else going
so
on.
weird
even
about the
before
Top Gun
Maverick.
sequel.
So we
I've
are
never even
continuing
seen
to do
Top
our
Gun
monthly big
Oh,
releases
wow.
that
Top Gun
we've
1
been
is
doing
amazing.
for a long time.
Yeah.
And
True.
next
Probably
month,
should
on
see it.
September 7th,
never
Top
we
Gun
are
1 does
launching
not need a sequel,
World
though.
Update 6.
Very self-contained,
And,
the movie.
This World Update, I mean,
There's
at
a
the beginning
shot
of the
in
show, if
two,
you
though,
remember,
where
there
a
was a
jet
little red plane flying into
flies
Cologne. Well, we did
through
that because World
between
Update
two
6
jets.
updates that
There's
week,
like jet,
the regional
jet,
games
and then
com.
like
so Germany,
jet.
Austria, and Switzerland.
And it's the
And what that
sickest
means
shot.
to
It's
us is
so
we have
cool.
new aerial
One
and
time when I was
satellite
snowboarding
images.
on
We have
Mount
a
Hood,
new
an
elevation
F-16
map
flew by
that
lower
helps
than
us with the
us.
mountains, so the
Fucking
Alps actually
awesome.
look awesome now. We have new 3D
kinda
cities like Frankfurt and Wuppertal in Germany. We have Basel in
work from
Switzerland.
like 80 miles
We have Vienna and Graz in Austria.
Those guys are crazy.
And those cities look just amazing. Amazing. They have like 7 centimeters resolution, and it's awesome. But
Yeah,
we
this
want to
is
celebrate the
incredible.
entire region. So we picked 100 of the
Here,
most
is
scenic
it,
places, the most
Avengers,
famous landmarks,
2 right there?
and we call it
Neuschwanstein.
POIs.
You just
And we
fly
sort of
by Avengers
play-
Tower.
throughout
Flight
the simulation, and we also
I
added
guarantee
airports.
there's a
We
mod
did
for that.
Lübeck and Stuttgart in Germany,
That'd
and
be sick.
Klagenfurt in Austria, and St. Gallen in
Oh, it
Switzerland.
does.
And,
I think it's 90
and what it
minutes
ties it all
total.
together.
Yeah, did you
is-
see that,
is
new
mission. We
Spider-Man
have a
trailer?
new,
Yes, dude.
yeah,
Holy
Discovery
crap.
Pass.
Yes,
We have
that was a
new,
holy shit trailer.
landing challenges, and we have
The
new,
ending, dude.
Yeah.
I was like,
sort of tours of the country. So they fly you around all the awesome looking places
Also,
and really
what's Multiverse
celebrate
of
the
Madness
beauty of
even
this
gonna be
region
about?
of Earth.
Right.
it's
Right.
like we're already
This is
doing it.
celebration,
Yeah.
of DACH, of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. I'm so happy to be able to announce the date here
Hello,
at Gamescom.
Peter.
You know, that is really incredible, all the different regions and everything that you're going to have in the game, and the way that you're going to be able to
Spider-Man.
actually highlight those.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. But you know, for us, it's actually not just the region and the visuals. We talked a lot when you study aviation.
There's one
and
thing
you
that
love
is
aviation,
like
like
very
me,
true about Gamescom
you
is there's a
actually
lot
realize
of
that a
like
lot of regions of Earth
German
have a very
pandering.
special relationship with flying. With
There's
aviation.
always, like,
Sometimes it's
they're
you know,
always
the
trying
first
to
experiments with
play to the
or
crowd.
famous
That's
pilots,
fair. I mean,
or,
almost
a
everything
feat
we're
of
served is like,
aviation, or like a local
Sure.
manufacturer. So we
It's
thought
just
to
so
ourselves,
much- it
why do
feels
we
so
not
much
use these
more
World
obvious
Updates
there.
to celebrate
Yeah.
the planes. So we are announcing a new series. We call them local legends, and think about that as planes that are
This is going on for a
locally
long
well-known,
time.
like
Yeah.
in
Yeah, this is a long one. This is
outside
a
of
long
the world,
one.
not so
No
much.
one has
And-
spoken
Well, and then
German.
talking about
the
things
World
that they're not
Updates to
showing,
highlight,
which
to bring
Right,
these
that's-
machines to a
that's
worldwide
a mood
audience.
killer.
So for World Update
Like,
6,
you talked
we
about
picked,
Top Gun, I
a
always
German
wear
plane from the
sunglasses.
1930s. It's called Junkers U-52. In Germany, it's lovingly named Tante U, so Aunt U. And we think of us as sort of a digital preservation. So we really want to get these planes to an extreme level of detail. We're going out of our way to really go
sheet metal, dude.
With a full scan, we take full scans of the outside and the inside, as detailed as 1 millimeter.
So you only fly this plane if you're going on an adventure. Like that's the only.
We work with Bernd Junkers, who is the grandson of the original creator of the plane, Hugo Junkers, and he's helping us. He had a ton of insight and materials. Then we worked with an organization that is preserving one of the last surviving examples of the Junkers. So they let us scan and take photographs, and then we were lucky that to find a pilot that actually flew one of those planes while it was still flying in the real world. And he lets us know, like, is the cockpit right and the sounds right? Does it feel right in the air? So we're having a blast working with these experts to really bring these, to celebrate this plane, to bring them back to life.
So this is almost like you're creating like a digital museum for aviation inside Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically that. It's a museum with flyable planes. So we're working with 40 museums around the world, and it's honestly one of the funnest parts of the job. You end up working with these curators of planes. These are their babies.
That's what I wonder though about these historic planes, whether they're included or whether they're like $30, $50 planes.
But you compare that to the real planes cost. It's kind of a deal.
And you're right, a lot of work goes into it.
They have the ancestor, they have this person who actually flew it. It seems like a lot of work.
And if you're super into flight
we're
sims,
actually not just looking back in the history of aviation, we're also looking
I think that's the thing. It's like it's not just a model, it's actually simulating the whole
German
plane.
company called Volocopter. And they're making
I mean, like, there are $10,000 ships or whatever in Star Citizen,
air taxi for urban traffic.
Whatever.
So they have a vision of the future, how these drone-type machines basically connect people in large cities.
Like an auto gyro.
Directly with the engineering capturing their plane, their aircraft perfectly in the flight simulator, and that's coming.
See, this kind of thing would be great for exploring the city.
I mean, you weren't
many times I would just crash trying to look at things.
Inside of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Is there anything else you want to share?
Yeah, there's one more thing. We are. I'm so happy to announce that we've partnered with RARA. That's the Reno Air Racing Association, and they every year they put on something called the Steel National Championship Air Race, and we're bringing this to Flight Simulator. So this is the fastest motorsport. This is right down your alley. It's the fastest motorsport on Earth, and I actually brought you a little trailer to look at.
So race, speed.
I like it.
That's
I do weird things to the danger zone, baby. Yeah. Let's go ahead and show that.
Weird things with my feet.
He's making like a plane with his feet.
We'll take the Spruce Goose. Hop in. Good sir. Blasting that mod wheel on that synth.
Man, you know, Flight Simulator would be a great way to flex my graphics card.
Yeah.
I just thought.
Like we were saying earlier, it's basically like.
How big is it?
It's like 160 gigs.
Come on. The trailer was like just getting started.
That was a ridiculous joke of a trailer. That was a joke of a trailer.
You know I like going fast, and you know I love being.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah,
what the?
That was weird.
Man,
that was not
these
a trailer.
Fly 500 miles per
And
hour.
we're still
out
here.
for
And
2
we're still
years.
here.
Like, what the fuck?
Holy shit.
So you
a
are
year.
definitely going to be in the danger zone. I mean,
understand
without going into too much detail, this Reno Air Race is actually the largest
like the
expansion we have
trailer.
since we launched on Flight Simulator.
You're losing me.
It's not
You're
just
losing
because
me,
we
Flight
scan
Simulator.
all the famous race planes of the world. There's lots of them. This is also the first time when you can basically race against your friends and pilots across the planet. And so a competitive multiplayer is coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator. And that will definitely test your pilot skills. And you asked, when is it coming out?
I didn't understand that
This is coming out this fall, so it's right around the corner.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Can you imagine like a 12-hour match in
Microsoft? Awesome, man. We got you covered.
We kind of did that with the Crew 2
on the ground.
Or
your speed.
Me and Brandon raced.
We
went for like 45 minutes or something.
And
I was so far ahead of him that it just like decided to boot him instead of letting him finish the race.
If you're an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, we have some great news for you.
No, the game. The game is just like, race is over.
Yeah, you suck. Game Pass, great value.
Great value.
Oh, Humble Games? Okay.
Great value.
You don't have to pay for anything anymore.
Oh, is that dodgeball?
I mean, you do have to pay for Game
$15
Pass,
$15
but
a month.
yeah. No, the point stands.
But like,
it's crazy.
that's like a third of a game.
Yeah, no, it's crazy for sure.
Yeah, these are like humble games. Yeah, I wonder what this game is. I used to do these rockets as a kid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did too.
I did a couple.
C-class
Yeah.
engines or whatever. Yeah, loved it.
Sign me up.
Yeah, that's a
Sign me the
super
hell
truck
up
right
right
there.
now.
Look at
Let's
that.
go.
I heard this
Remember
game
that
is
one,
really
chat?
good.
Yeah, you guys played it recently. Someone played it.
Remember that one.
Dodgeball Academia.
I've already forgotten. Yo, that looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Two. Let's
Like
go.
Oh, dude.
that's a bang.
Old Shinobi vibes.
Flynn? Okay.
It's cool too.
Unpacking, yeah. There's been like a string of these games, different different gameplay styles, but
Yo,
same
what?
theme. Signalis.
Ooh.
It looks like an old
Ooh.
PlayStation game.
Yeah,
Zero
I'm way
vibes.
into that. I've played this. We played this.
Oh, is this one?
Yeah, we
Oh,
did
this
this
game's
the other
sick.
day. This game is really cool.
Yeah,
There's
this
a
is
demo. There's a demo for that one.
Trying to
This one
sound
looks good
detective
too.
agency.
This one looks cool. Signalis. Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's that same game.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, give it to me.
Yeah, that looks fantastic. What was that
Jack
called?
me in.
Signalis?
Jack me in.
Signalis?
Midnight Fight Express.
Yeah.
Xbox Game Pass, dude.
Sign me up.
Great value.
Holy crap.
Yep, somehow they did it. They added even more games to Game Pass. Let's talk about what's coming up. We're talking Age of Empires 4, the game's creative director. And
Like
we're
it
gonna
was
see what's next for
impossible.
Yeah, yeah.
We have the technology.
Roguelike retro shooter that in grand retro
Microsoft
fashion
bought some
sends
more
you plundering
servers.
through
Yeah, Age of
shifting
Empires
dungeons
4
to defeat
hype.
a mysterious eldritch
Yeah.
terror. Let's dive into
I
the
love
pit.
defeating mysterious
Into the
eldritch
pit.
terrors.
Okay.
Alright.
Cool.
Alright.
Sweet.
Gloomwood went.
Yeah, I was.
Where the
Yeah, that's
hell-
exactly what I was thinking of.
Is that Pit with a Y?
Well, I think it was pit with an eye.
Yo, Halloween's coming up.
Halloween,
Gloomwood.
dude.
It's time,
Oh,
Gloomwood.
Yeah.
Halloween release.
I'm not sure if I like the aesthetics of shooting with your hands like that.
What are you talking about? It's what like witches and wizards do, you know? Yo, Emperor Palpatine.
To see your hands
But it's like a
that, though,
machine gun. It's a little weird.
but like to see your hands like that with your arms at that angle, you do have to be
Yeah,
moving them
this
like
this is weird. Yeah, it should be like
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to see them really. But that would, you should be able to see less of them. Pit with an eye.
Oh yeah, it's just like an animation on it. Yeah.
October 19th.
October 19th. That's a good Halloween game.
It's so cool because like there are
It's the
games
day my mom
where
died.
if you had to pay full price for them, it'd be like, you know, I'll put that on the back burner or
Well,
whatever.
I am
but
here
with Game Pass,
with
it's like,
creative
yeah.
director of World's Edge,
Check it out.
Adam
It's free.
Eisgreen. And Adam, I'm so excited to talk H4, of course, because you've brought something a little different and very special today.
Yeah, I have. So, you know, so far we've been showing everyone kind of what
Age
Age
4.
looks
Yo,
like
can we
in
have
the game.
can we have some Age 4 late night streams?
Yes,
Can we please do
yes.
A
that?
little bit
Yeah,
of
sure.
campaigns,
Also, I'm enjoying
right,
Humankind
through,
so
when
far.
we unveiled
Nice.
the 100 Years War and showed Joan of Arc.
I
It's
really,
basically
We have
sick.
another way.
I really
in
wanna
Empires
get into
4
Age
that we're
4.
kind of bringing
Yeah,
history
dude.
to life that we haven't talked about.
love this series.
You do this
Didn't get into the remasters.
Put me in
This is the
suspense.
one.
I want
Yeah,
to
I'm
know
excited.
more, so
Dude,
let's
yeah.
go
Age
with
2
it. Let's hear
was
more.
like
Yes.
the game of our
Oh
middle
my
school.
God,
Yes.
yeah, I played so
Okay, that's
much.
enough.
Yes.
So, what we brought today is we have these wonderful little videos that we've created that are interspersed amongst the campaign.
It's
They're
crazy
about
because
3 to
like
5
Age of
minutes
Empires
each.
2 was
And,
huge for me,
We have
and
over
then I
an
just
hour of
didn't
them
play
total,
Age of
and they're called
Empires
Hands
3.
on Histories.
Same.
And
Yeah,
what they are is a
very
great way
weird.
to like
Same.
deep dive on certain
Played like
fun
some of it,
subjects.
but-
500
from
hours
culture
in 2.
representing and just
Didn't touch 3.
Yeah.
That is
Well, I
always
hear
so
you've
weird
actually
in that
brought
one.
little segments that you're going to share
I thought
here
Age of
for the
Mythology
very
was cool,
first
though.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
played a bonkers
we
amount
are
of
going
Empire
to
Earth
show
too.
you.
Someone
the
in
segments
Degrassi had
on
an
one
Age of
the most
Mythology
popular
poster on their
units
wall.
from
Yeah,
Age of
it was-
Empires
Oh,
franchise,
really?
and a fan favorite, the Trebuchet.
In Degrassi?
Well, this I gotta see. Let's take a look.
A counterweight trebuchet.
It's the real thing.
Yeah, that's
The
real.
king of all siege engines. A catapult capable of smashing down castle walls from great distances.
I feel like I've either been to or seen a video about that exact trebuchet.
At Warwick
I
Castle in
want
England,
Yeah.
to launch a trebuchet.
I
they
have.
built a replica. one of the largest in the world.
I have been here. I have seen this
Where is it?
trebuchet.
Originating
Warwick
in
Castle. It's
7th
right
century
next to
China.
where
Oh,
Codemasters
By the
is.
13th century,
That's so dope.
trebuchets had evolved into devastatingly powerful weapons.
Damn. That
Such
thing
a
is sick.
simple design, but so effective.
It has
Doctor.
several key features.
I'm a trebuchet doctor.
Pivoted
like the
arm
design is
with
that
a weight
simple.
at one end
It's pretty impressive.
and a sling
There are
to
people in
hold the
there.
projectile at the other. To prime, the 6-ton weight
yeah, that
is
was actually
raised using tread wheels.
11 years ago.
So this
Do
is
you guys want to
That I was
siege
there?
a castle
tube
with me?
that's
Absolutely.
attached to an axle.
Can we just go siege a
which would
castle?
lift the counterweight.
There's something
weighing
weirdly
6
cozy
tons.
about being in a
It's
castle.
based on
being
muscle
sieged,
power alone.
You know?
Because I was there during the.
essential.
London
I can't
Olympics.
relate. I live a different life than you.
The arm is moving as fast as possible. So once that weight drops, it really
I was
sends
like the
this point of
safe
the
room, like
arm
when a castle's
moving
being
at
sieged
its
on the
highest
bottom.
Yeah, oh
velocity.
yeah.
And there's just like some
This
cozy
was done by
conversation like
positioning the
above.
pivot
I love how
close
you
to
guys
the
are talking
counterweight.
like this is like a weekend
And by
occurrence.
launching the
Yeah, it
projectile
happens
from
all
the
the time.
sling.
I've been sieged a couple of
When
times.
released, the sling whips round,
Dude, she
vastly
is a catapult
increasing the
doctor.
launch speed.
I love how we're not seeing Age of Empires 4, but we're learning a lot about trebuchets.
Like modern guns.
But this is literally like one of the tourist kind of things that like they do this presentation every day.
Every single time.
For each projectile to follow the same trajectory, they all had to be the same weight and shape. To achieve this, masons used
I
a gauge.
love this,
Yeah.
but
Now I'm going to load this projectile.
but it's weird
into
right
the
now.
sling.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
This one has
Like, I would
I'm watching
definitely-
the History Channel.
yeah, I would definitely watch this on like History Channel or
Right,
Travel
right,
Channel.
right.
That's the weight of 2 men.
But
It's the weight of two
Trebuchets
men.
were also used to throw burning tar,
Dude, I want to
beehives, even dead
weigh
bodies.
things like that. No.
Anything to cause maximum
Can you
distress
imagine
to
loading
the
a
enemy.
beehive in
Yeah,
a
beehive. You know when the bees pieced out?
Hear that whoosh?
I was always a fan of the
It
like
was the
two towers
counterweight
ones, the
trebuchet's
giant
lethal combination
watchtowers
of
that you
power
just
and- Yeah,
push
yeah.
up. Imagine just rolling up to a
Made it the
castle with one of
ultimate
those.
medieval
Yeah.
siege weapon.
It's like 200 people storm out. So crazy.
It's just, think about like the
What the
guys.
fuck?
But I tied up right at the end and caught it part of the game. I love it.
I don't care because that is awesome.
The guys that have to put the
Microsoft
ladders to climb the castle
That was
walls,
really
and then they get
cool.
like tar
They get
poured
tar
on them.
poured on them?
Yeah.
The things when we were looking
I
at
mean,
what
I
we could
loved
do with
learning
Age of
about a
Empires
trebuchet,
4.
but what the fuck?
There's a phrase I'm really fond of.
I love just
History
being
is always
reminded.
interesting
Okay, I
to
forgot
people
that I had
audience.
seen that
And
trebuchet.
You can
Yeah.
tell
And I was like,
it's
oh,
something
hey, look.
there, but
Just instantly
I think the great
recognized
thing
it.
is
I've also
when
been
you have someone
gently
that's so
reminded that
enthusiastic
I
Age of
remembered going to the
Empires 4
castle.
exists.
I did not
we
remember seeing
wanted
the
to be
trebuchet.
that kind
Yeah.
of teacher for history. And there's a phrase called humanized history that I use to kind of
Humanize
describe
it.
what we tried to
Humanize
do, which
that
is we tried to
history,
like
bro.
connect past and present. And you can see that kind of in our briefings as well, where we've got like real stuff with like
Yeah,
CG
good
kind of
question.
overlaid to show you
Is
the
learning
history.
about a trebuchet
And so
better than
for
just a full
these,
CG trailer?
we really wanted to do that same
Great
thing.
Better than a CG
I think
trailer.
in
VT
this
trailer
case,
for this game, yeah.
I think in this
For an
case,
Age of
yes.
Empires
Called
game,
Lion TV.
It depends on when the
Because she was
CG
awesome.
trailer drops.
Right.
Documentaries for the BBC.
She
and
was super into
won
it.
every award you can
I
imagine.
mean, I
for
liked
media.
She sold it.
And they
just
traveled
didn't
to all of these
know.
locations.
This is the
in
weight
all
of
these different
2
countries
men.
to meet
Test
with
at the
these
end.
subject matter experts and get all of this great
There
footage
might be,
on how
honestly.
things really worked and
That
how
would be
things
kinda
were made.
funny.
And it's
If
been
they put on, like, a
delightful to kind
website,
of go
like,
through that
Right.
process
a
and,
really hard, like,
get all these
scholastic
and finally
exam.
start showing them to everyone.
I love it. Now, you also...
That would be funny
You've
is
got a
if
bunch,
like
as
you
mentioned, of
installed
these
Age of
hands-on
Empires 4 on
history
Game Pass,
segments.
and like
Anything
you
else that
cannot
tell
play
us
unless you
about
pass
what we
this
can
test.
expect, looking forward to. Any
Did you
favorites you got
see
coming
this
up?
presentation?
favorites.
on trebuchet?
Oh man. Well, I
No?
think my personal favorite
Uninstall.
is one called Medieval Surgery,
Okay.
and I'm gonna let your
Oh, no.
imagination go with what we might show and what we might talk about in
no.
that one.
Yeah.
But the thing I love about them is that they go all over the place. So we've got ones on warfare and castle building and like how they kept flaming arrows from not going out when she shot them, and so.
Uh-oh.
Wasn't me.
I was actually curious how you kept them from
Same.
going out.
Yeah.
That's their feed. They're still live.
This is Xbox. This on their end.
Oh, no!
They got
Surrounded
DMCA. They're using History Channel footage.
DMCA! Adam Savage was like, that's ours. We own that.
They are still alive, though.
They're still
Top
alive.
10, yo, best bow and arrow kills
Weird.
of the year are in Kingdom.
Oh.
Some really good ones.
I do a refresh, maybe that'll fix it.
Best emotional evisceration, Pig.
Oh, the
Pig, yeah,
2021.
chat's
I agree.
going nuts right now.
Oh,
so
man.
it's definitely.
I want to watch Pig.
It's
I
all
watched
just people
last night,
saying
man.
F and then someone saying Among Us. Yeah, Pig is sick, dude.
Pig
Pig
is
was
sick.
great.
But yeah, that was like one of those like travel moments going to that place because it was the day we had landed after the international flight. But I knew that it's like one of those things where, like, if I don't go to this castle now,
You'll never go.
I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah.
So like, I'll sleep later. You know.
Hell yeah, Bloodworth. I love that.
I remember the time that we were in Gamescom.
But,
and
I mean,
we've been
what
traveling
was that
for
approach
37
like to
straight
sort of,
hours.
you know, sell going forward,
yeah.
especially
And
since
then you
it's
wanted to
such a
start
unique
working
in-game
immediately when you got
experience?
there.
Well, the cool thing was it was there from day one. It was one of the things I was really wanted
it's
to
this
do was
Friday.
try to tell these stories in a different way. And but I'll tell you, like
I
full
forgot you have
disclosure,
to
it's
say
been
it 5
insanely
times.
nerve-wracking.
Did you know that their website
We're trying
can say
something completely
Candyman
different
5
that no one's
times
ever
and
done
unbox the final
before
trailer?
in a
You
game,
do it
right?
right,
We're
yeah.
like we're history, but we're a game. But we're
That's-
teaching you things.
that's
We're
some
having
good
fun,
marketing.
and
That's great.
Damiani's
finding
got
that
you,
middle
chat.
ground has been
Damiani
really
figured it out.
challenging. And
He's
you know,
got you.
every time we've tried to show, we've shown the
Can you see it
campaigns
now?
or we've shown these hands-on histories. I've been like, oh god, is it gonna,
They
it's
said
gonna
audio
work?
only
like
for a second?
people are gonna
We're
like
back.
this.
Okay.
And the great thing is, so far,
Damiani's
everyone
on.
that's really experienced the entire
Professional.
thing put together
Thanks,
has just been like,
Damiani.
wow, this is great, and it's so different and kind of cool and refreshing. So, whew, so far so good, right? But yeah, it's been a journey, you know, to
Yeah,
get
how
all
do you
this
keep
done
the
and put
arrows
the whole
from
game
going out,
together.
though?
Well, I love
there
that you
you
mentioned
go.
Journey.
Well, they were
because
only
we're coming
teasing it
towards
anyways.
the
Yeah, I
end of
know.
this
They
development
probably
journey
didn't.
for
They probably
Age
didn't tell
4.
you.
Talk to me about where
What's
people
that
can
weird
find and
view
learn
thing
more about
you
Age of
got?
Empires 4. I know they're all chomping at the bit.
Oh, well, you know, October 28th,
Oh, that's
we
kind of
are
close to
launching the
saying.
game. You can go to ageofempires.com to learn more
Dude,
about
what is
the
this?
title. And if you're really, really excited, right now
So
you
far,
can go
so
onto the
good,
Microsoft
right?
Store or Steam, pre-order the game
Like,
right
I love
now.
Age of Empires.
And of
I
course,
don't
we
need
will
to
be
see
there
it in a
day
press
one,
conference.
Xbox Game Pass
Like,
for
besides, like,
PC as well.
gameplay.
So
We
anyone
didn't
that's
see
on
it
that-
in
Right.
the
we
press
didn't.
conference.
I would like
That's
that.
not Trebuchet.
Right.
Yes, I believe you are
And I love
part of the
Trebuchet.
Blizzard
Yeah.
special.
Yes, so Gamescom opening night live.
Yes.
11 a.m. Pacific time. There might be something Age of Empires related.
Okay.
Keely, so Keely's got it.
Keely gets it.
Not even in the Xbox show.
mean,
Then why
I
not
like
stage
it very much. Adam, thank you so much for joining us here.
Always a pleasure, Kate.
Always
But
a
it's
pleasure. Age
not-
of
this is the
Empires 4
thing,
looks
it's like they're doing this,
fantastic,
like-
so I cannot wait. October 28th.
They're doing, like, this
neither should you.
casual
And we
chat
have tons coming up here today,
format.
including a new update for State of Decay 2.
We thought it was impossible,
Forza Horizon.
State of
but we
Decay
added
2.
more
Friends
games to Game
Playground games,
Pass.
But
Yeah.
now, let's catch up with Paris, who's gone from
Is
flying
that
the
what's
skies in
happening here?
Microsoft
That
Flight Sim
they
to
don't
a
want to
different kind
spoil
of
things
cloud.
for the Keely show because that's
But that's
actual
so-
Gamescom?
that's
Xbox
so
Cloud
weird.
Gaming is already available on Windows PCs, mobile phones, and tablets. And now it's coming to Xbox consoles. The future with cloud gaming sounds bright. No waiting to install, no running out of hard drive space, no waiting to patch, and no buying a new console
Love
just to play
patches.
with your friends. See
I
how the
like
vision of
envisioning
cloud
Keely
gaming will
like
bring
at a
people together
table and being
without
like, "That's
barriers.
Yeah. It's
So
like
when
a
I think about
like one of
cloud
those old
and when I
bar
think
mats.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like going
He's got like this
Xbox.
stick and he's like
Yeah,
pushing
he's
it.
pick up something and you could
Don't talk about
and you
cloud
could do
gaming
it
unless you're going to
quickly.
bring fiber to my neighborhood.
I saw some of the guys that installed the fiber for us here. The van was by my house, and I almost went over to him and I was like, "Yo,
Cloud
you
gaming's
put
phenomenal.
fiber over here?"
Great. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
If they do,
This
I'm
actually
gonna
looks so
partake.
good.
Games are large, and you want to keep the ones that you know you love on your hard
Games are
drive.
large.
Games
Xbox
are
Cloud
large.
Gaming is
Quote
about
of the
being
day
able to
so
discover
far,
the new
games are
ones
large.
right away. It's super exciting that for our Game Pass Ultimate members, they
But
will
you see,
get
the
to
thing is
experience
like I think
Xbox
about the
Cloud
use
Gaming on
cases of
whatever
when I
console
would
they
use
have.
cloud gaming too,
Cloud
and it's
gaming
like it
is
still
really about looking
wouldn't
at
necessarily
how
help
people
me.
play differently.
Because like
I know
I would
me
want it
in
so I like didn't have to bring
particular,
my
sometimes I just
Xbox
have
with me
20
on
minutes.
vacation, but
Right.
then
We
my
got
family
flood
doesn't
internet.
have good enough
Finding
internet
the
for
game
that
that you look for on
anyway.
your console
Game Pass,
and
great
just
value,
jumping
though.
right
Although
in.
my brother,
1080p,
I'm jealous
60
because my
frames per
brother's got
second.
better
What's
internet than
crazy
I do,
about
and he
this
has
is like
no
the
need for it.
latency.
Oh,
This is the kind
yeah.
of stuff
Like
That
he's a
drives me
heavy
crazy.
equipment operator. He doesn't need
That's
good
actually
internet.
very smooth.
Breakfast.
The process itself to get into cloud gaming feels
Shout
like you're
out,
playing on
Breakfast.
console, right? You go, you find the game you want, you press
Shout out
play.
Celeste.
So easy nowadays. You can pick up any.
And he didn't
device
even. That was
anywhere,
the funniest part. Is he didn't
any
even know.
Xbox
He just
game.
got whatever.
Yeah. My dad's second
If my
wife
friends
has
have titles I
fiber in
don't
the
have
country
yet,
up
I
in
can just
Wisconsin.
wait for them to
That's the
send me
thing.
an
The small
invite, and
towns, all it
makes
takes is like
content just so much
one
more
person
accessible.
in the local government to
Right.
want it,
Yeah.
And then they just get it to everybody.
I love how
Everything
they
that Xbox is
lower
doing right
started
now
that guy,
is just
Zach
getting rid
Xbox
of
Gamer.
limits.
Like I don't
Having
know
to
if the
be on a
Xbox
specific
gamer tag was
platform or a specific
necessary.
Play on PC and mobile, and now on Gen 8.
Yeah, Gen 8 consoles
Shout
can
out
play
to
Gen 9
Billy
content.
No.
Isn't that so cool?
No
With
gen
cloud
numbers.
gaming, we have the ability
I
because you are
thought he was
connecting
upset
to
That's the
about
one thing I took out of
Billy
that
Zane, what's
script
wrong with
because
Billy
I
Zane?
do not like gen
customers, the
numbers.
Xbox One customers,
What are we on,
Means nothing to
play
me.
What are we on,
games that
8
their
right
hardware
now?
wouldn't have been able to play.
They were
without
saying
it.
8
There's
and 9.
so much
so I don't know.
opportunity when it comes to thinking about how we can make
That's-
content more
I'm
readily
waiting
available, let
to
people
get hyped.
play where they want to. Sign me
During
up.
this print?
I'm
Yeah,
ready
there's
to
gonna be
hop in
something.
right now. Let's do it.
There might be
When's the
something.
release?
My hope
When's
is
the
one
release?
thing.
Ah,
One cool thing.
spend more anime.
That's all we need. Just need one thing.
Well, especially when you have stuff like Switch, which is just like such a disparity in power. Like, is
Yeah.
that this gen or last gen? I don't know.
Switch is outside the race, man.
August 9th saw
That's
the release
Gen-
of the free
But it's at the
optimized
same time.
update for
Gen B.
Hellblade:
It's
in the
Senua's
same
Sacrifice
window.
on the Xbox Series S and
Same
X.
games are coming out.
Beautifully rich
Hellblade.
visuals, thanks to the addition of ray tracing and improved materials alongside performance updates.
This is the first
This is
Hellblade.
the perfect opportunity to relive Senua's journey or experience it for the first time. And if you haven't played this, do
Dive
yourself
in.
a favor, grab a pair of headphones, and immerse yourself into this world.
Agreed.
What about those
Speaking of
headphones?
unique
Play
experiences
that game
on
with
Game
headphones.
Pass,
They tell you
the
when you
Xbox
start it.
Plays team will be taking a
They
look
do.
at some
To use
ideate
headphones.
Xbox titles over the next few days,
Everybody
including
loves Super
12 minutes
Matrix.
and the Big Con.
They're also talking with developers from Halo, the Master Chief Collection, Forza Horizon 5, and
hate this
Destiny
song
2.
already?
So join the live
Yeah.
Q&A to get your burning questions answered. You can catch all of those streams on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Mortal Kombat 11.
Speaking of Forza Horizon 5, don't forget our friends at Playground Games will give us an extended look at their monument to motoring in Mexico later on.
That
Later.
includes never-before-seen
Why do they
areas
keep
of the
shouting
game
out the
map
things
plus
instead of just
cars
doing
that have
them?
never been in the Forza franchise.
They're like,
before.
later on we're gonna
I've
see
loved
State of Play.
everything I've
Later on
seen
we're gonna
of
see
Forza
Forza.
Horizon
Later on
5
we're
so
gonna see
far,
this.
and
It's
I
like, well,
can't
just
wait.
do them.
Now, Kate, there's more games to check out, right?
Well,
Yo,
right, you are, Paris.
I'm
Let's talk
so
Wasteland
curious
3.
about State of
Their
Decay
newest
2.
DLC
They said they were
introduces
gonna
us
go to
to a
that
new
later.
Hang on,
cult.
we need another
The cult
Russian
of the Holy Detonation.
radiation survival game.
Oh, this is Prime Matter.
Holy detonation is life. Deep within Cheyenne Mountain.
It's funny because like they're making so many games, but none of them have resonated with me so far.
Mutations you see
Prime Matter.
before you.
Yeah, they're that new
Set on
Yeah,
a
the new label
righteous
under
path.
Hatch Media.
The holy detonation's life-giving glow should be shared with everyone.
You hop back in for this, Ben, or what? Because you played Wasteland 3, right? A little bit?
I did. Is this Wasteland 3?
I think that's what they said.
No, this is called the Holy Detonation.
I thought this was the Wasteland 3.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Just pay attention.
They haven't given
They had
me
a
reason.
gigantic logo that
Yeah,
said that, but not Wasteland 3.
But I was thinking as I was looking at it, I was like, this looks like Wasteland.
They haven't given us a reason to pay attention yet.
With new patches, bug fixes, and added features,
State of Decay?
like a fine
Cyberpunk?
wine, Wasteland 3 just
Wasteland
gets
3.
better with age.
No.
To really
they show a
savor
thing
the
and then they
game's
talk about a
bouquet,
thing for 6
we're
minutes and
talking
then they
with
show it again and
in-exile
talk
game
about it for another
director
6
David
minutes.
Rogers. David, thank you for joining us.
I'm super stoked to be here.
Ken-
Thanks.
So in the
Ken
trailer,
Gillette over
we
here.
saw that the DLC is coming out on October 5th, but we know, In Exile, Wasteland 3, you guys have been working on this for a very long time. So can you kind of talk about that journey?
Yeah, our dev team has been working non-stop full tilt, trying to make Wasteland 3 the best version of itself
Full
it could be.
tilt.
Over the past year since its release,
Sure, that's
we've
the term
added
you want.
features, we balanced,
tilt,
we
full
listened to
tilt,
the community,
full
we
tilt,
fixed
full
bugs,
tilt.
added stability, and I
never
really
played on
think
full
that
tilt?
the
We're all
version that
in.
we have now
Full
is the
tilt.
absolute best version of the game, and if you've
Different
never
than
played it before,
tilting.
now's an awesome time to jump in.
Or on
Well,
tilt.
congratulations on everything that you've been doing with Wasteland 3. Now, this DLC is called
Full tilt.
The Cult
Yeah,
of
Wasteland
the
3
Holy
was really
Detonation. Now, talk about that a little bit. Tell me what's going to go into this DLC.
See, there's no Wasteland 3 on that screen.
Right, so
that's
you've
why-
heard of
Yeah.
Cheyenne Mountain, right?
Yes.
For those who haven't, Cheyenne Mountain is this top secret military complex buried deep in the heart of Cheyenne Mountain in the middle of Colorado. It's designed to outlast a nuclear winter.
Yo,
And
Mike-
so
Mike
when you hit level
Damiani, you ready?
16, an old friend calls
hates
you and
this.
says, "Hey, I need your help
yeah, he
securing
does,
this
he does,
secret
he does.
military base and all the secrets within." And as
Our
soon as you
bubble.
get there, you find 2 warring cults battling over supremacy, trying to take control of the Holy Detonation, which is this pre-war
warring
science
cults.
experiment that they worship as a god.
Yeah.
And these cultists are insane. They're mutated. They've gone totally mad.
Stargate,
And
yeah, dude.
all they want to
That's where they
do
put
is
it.
share the holy radiation with
Cheyenne
you
Mountain, dude.
and your
Stargate,
entire
yes,
ranger
you know,
team.
Stargate.
How generous.
Yeah, that sounds
Is
a
the
lot cooler
Stargate
than some of the
movie
cults I may have joined in the
standalone,
past.
or is it
but
a
Yes.
sequel to anything?
this
It's
is
a
typical
standalone.
Wasteland
It
fashion.
started
We're really
it
going to
all.
be able to get in there and mix it up, right?
Right, right. So you and your ranger
I
team
love
find
that
yourself
growing up.
right
Yeah, I
smack
loved
dab
it.
in the middle of their holy war, which, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
And this is a Wasteland game, so you decide everything. Choice and consequence is our bread and butter. And so you decide who lives, who dies, who gets screwed over, who takes charge. You're deciding the fate of the cults, the Holy Detonation, Cheyenne Mountain, and ultimately all of Colorado. This is really your game to craft and mold.
That's awesome. So the last expansion was the Battle of Steeltown, right? You had giant robots and things like that. So, what are you going to do to actually top something like that from the last expansion?
Right. So we wanted returning players to find something that they could never find in another version or in previous versions of Wasteland 3. And
I feel
so
bad for
we built this as a
producers and
Wasteland-style
stage managers
dungeon
and
crawl.
stuff, and,
in
designers
there
who
you
set
find this
up these
awesome
kinds
mix
of
of
presentations,
mystery,
and then just everyone hates them.
exploration. You're meeting these crazy
sure.
cultists who have been locked in this pre-war
it's like
time
they put effort
capsule,
into the stage
and
and,
some of the raddest boss battles we have ever been able to build in a Wasteland game.
But it's not.
That's
It's
awesome.
an
I want to
unwinnable
get back
situation.
to the crazy
Because you're
cultists,
either
but
into
talk to me about
Wasteland 3
these-
or
Right,
you're
or you're not.
And if you're not,
Yeah.
this is an
So we
hour
took the
long.
best
I wonder,
parts of
though,
Wasteland combat and we breathed new
if the
life
people
into it
whose
with
job that is,
objective-based
they
combat,
probably
which
don't even
are
pay attention
basic
They probably
user
don't.
yeah,
rather
They
than
don't
battle
even
response.
chat, yeah.
It's no longer you're
They don't care
huddling in a
about
corner throwing down
Yeah, as
turrets,
long
just
as,
going on
the
murderous
background
rampages.
doesn't
It's
flicker
not about
out
killing,
Right,
it's
right.
about getting the job
I mean,
done.
and you're-
So
when you're
now
running something
combat doesn't
like this,
end
you're
until the
way
mission
too
is
busy
over.
to
We
worry
send you
about.
on proper combat missions.
That's
You're
what
in
it's
there breaking into prisons, rescuing POWs. You're disrupting these high-tech cultist rituals. You are splitting your fire team
And,
and
every
coordinating
time,
like you never
it's,
have had to before.
doesn't seem
Everyone
like
on your team
anything's
has a
gonna
job,
work
and I really
until,
think this is going
30
to take
minutes
old
before the
players
show
who know
starts.
their ranger team like the back of their hands, and it's going to make them scratch their head
It's a bummer,
and
too,
really have to
because
rethink
any
how they go
game
about
like
combat
this,
and making
like,
it new,
kind of a
exciting,
slower
and
turn-based,
challenging, mentally in a way we haven't been able to really
game
do
is
before
hard
with
to
just
show.
straight
Hard
up
to
murder
show.
combat.
Now, Wasteland has a reputation for getting a little silly.
Right.
What are some of the weird characters we can expect in some of the story encounters we'll see in the game?
Yeah, with Cult of the Holy Detonation, we really got to cut our devs
setup
loose and just let them be
Yeah.
creative
What if it was
and fun and
Miyazaki
silly.
and
Like
Elden
in Exiles,
Oh, I'd be wrapped.
modus operandi
This is someone's Elden
if we're
Ring.
like
Right, that's a very
brainstorming
good
and something
It's
makes us
funny because
laugh,
I
we
feel
just
like this
put
is
it in the
the
game. That's
exact
just how we
opposite
do it. We
approach
pick up
that
pieces
Microsoft's been
afterwards.
taking for
'Cause
E3.
we release something
Yeah.
on
E3,
and then we know
they
it's
don't. They
we're
hardly do
having
any
fun,
talking. I
our
feel like,
fans
and
are
it's just
gonna
like
have
game,
fun along with it. And so we got to
And it's, like, really
explore, like
fast.
really letting you get deep into this like
I do think
weird
it's better
radiation
than
cult and let you
some of the
interact with
things
them
that
and
they've
talk
done
with them.
the past 2 years.
And
Like,
tell
remember that
stories
one
and,
that
like,
was
maybe even join
sponsored
them.
by Borderlands
And
3?
so, like, for instance, one of the
And
characters
they had
you meet, one of the first
Randy
cultists you
Pitchford
meet,
basically
is this
doing the same
slathering
thing, but
beast.
everything
He's got,
he
like,
was saying was
claws and
stuff that we had
fangs and
already
spikes jutting
talked
out,
about
and
and
he's
previews like the
drooling,
week
but he's like
before.
the nicest guy in Cheyenne Mountain.
Well,
like you meet him and
Borderlands
he's
3
like,
was your big
"Hey,
thing, and you didn't
guys,
actually show
you should,
anything
like,
new.
come in here, like,
Nothing.
soak up some of these rats.
Nothing is as bad as
And
that
he
Gearbox
sherpas
presentation.
you
Oh,
in
Lord.
and lets you meet the whole cult.
Uncomfortable.
And like
Oh,
another
God.
one of my
I was
favorites is the
uncomfortable.
That was
One of
He's
the worst
made
of all
if,
time.
train
One of the
if you
worst
took
of all
like
time.
20 cultists and you like melted them into a big pile,
Good time for a
kind of
snack-
like I would do this with
snack
like a
break right
magnifying
now.
glass. I would like melt like
This
army
is-
guys and
this
like
is
GI
just
Joes
insane
into a big
Xbox.
pile, and he's wet and sloppy and gross, and he's hard to understand, and he needs a translator supposedly.
I actually do
but
think
he's
it
like your
benefits
number
from
one
not having
fan,
that crowd,
and getting
though.
to build like
Oh,
this
for sure.
totally
That was
out
just
there
awkward.
wild extreme character was a ton of fun to write for. It's a ton of fun to like explore like what makes this cult tick, and he's an absolute blast. Hell, even some of the weapons that you find in Cheyenne Mountain, they're devolved cultists. Like there's one guy and he kind of devolves into this like vomiting bagpipe creature, and he has this real like kill me vibe about him. But we get to play with these fun body horror themes that let us jackknife between sort of like dark and serious and like goofy and
Yeah,
funny,
that's
which is
crazy
a
what you've
line
done.
that Wasteland really really loves to ride. Like, you know, a lot of really important stuff is at stake, but, you know, the Wasteland's a pretty bizarre place.
Oh, I can imagine. Now, we talked before, you've been working on Wasteland 3 for a while. There's already expansions that are out there. But say I'm a new player. Say I'm watching this right now, and I'm like, man, I want to get into Wasteland 3. What would you suggest for new players wanting to get into this?
And like I said at the top, like Wasteland is like the best version of itself right now because of all the work we've put into it over the past year. And so you can get the whole thing with the Colorado collection. That's the base game plus Cult of the Holy Detonation and Battle of Steeltown, all for a discount. Or if you have Game Pass, you already have Wasteland 3.
I do kind of feel like with this format, like, it hurts you to be secretive.
That is awesome. Now,
I think it
to kind
actually
of
works
recap
better.
this a little
to,
bit.
like,
We've talked
hey,
about,
here's the schedule. This is everything we're going to be showing.
Yeah, for this, yes, absolutely.
So then you know what you're going to be getting into. You know what you're going to be in.
100%.
I want to see that schedule and like Trebuchet documentary.
Right, this work of passion comes out on October 5th.
What if they're like super honest, like Age of Empires 4, no content show, like no substantial content.
Thank you so much.
They just have like skip on their
skippable.
In the 3 years since its launch, Sea of Thieves has played host to some
not
incredible
bad.
crossovers,
It's not an
including
announcement
unique
showcase,
chipsets
really.
inspired by games like Battletoads, State of Decay, Halo, and
What if they're
more.
going to get to a point
Today,
with Game Pass where
we're
it's
excited
like,
to announce
you have Game Pass, you've
brand
already
new
played this game,
special
and you
event
don't know.
that will award players an all-new ship as a part of the
we went ahead and
latest
just gave you all
wild
the achievements.
crossover heading
We
to Sea
downloaded
of
it
Thieves.
to your machine,
Better
gave you all the
yet,
achievements
this
automatically.
event
We
begins tomorrow.
a Steam review.
So get ready to make some mayhem, and let's get our first look at this very special ship.
I do like CP.
New event.
Ow.
Hey, blood. Ow. Hey, blood. Hey, blood.
I mean, they always do this. To be fair, they had like a Battletoads one, and they had a.
Isla, this needs to be your main ship.
I mean, I usually sack our shit at the end of every stream, but like, I would try to get people.
It's
to
just
like,
a ship, though, right?
It's just a skin, yeah. They do that for a bunch of
everyone.
games.
No,
really
if
cool
you
to be a part of this.
do that ship, Randy Pitchford is on
We were thinking, what's
your.
the best way
on
to
your
like,
team.
he's part of your.
You're like, Randy, get off mic.
As Sea of Thieves. And so we're really
Come on, push to
excited to
talk,
reveal that
Randy.
we're bringing the Mayhem ship set that you've just seen, a really, really
It's
cool
wild to
ship
think
that's
how big the
inspired by
Borderlands
Borderlands
brand is.
into Sea of Thieves.
Because they
and we're giving all
decided,
of our players
like,
a
it
chance
almost
to earn
feels
it
like
during
it,
kind
like
of
they
the
just threw a bunch of
Gamescom
money
time
at
period.
it.
So it's
No,
been
it's just been, it's
It's
just
not
been
all
a
that.
lot of people playing the game.
and giving all
Borderlands,
of our
like,
players
the-
the
I really
chance
enjoy it.
to
The
like
Borderlands
But I'm
one.
not.
cunningly
I'm not the
titled
type of
Mayhem,
person that's
you might
going
notice
to
them.
endlessly
So
play
you
them.
can
Like,
probably
I'd
guess
play
the
it when
kind
it
of
comes out, and then
activities that
maybe
are
I'll play the
involved. But
DLCs.
if you head to
Borderlands
Lorena or
1
any of the
before it came
outposts
out,
in
like,
Sea of
people
Thieves
were,
world,
like,
she'll be able to fill you in on the
publicly
details
being
of what
like,
you
this
need
is
to go do
doomed,
to
and then
earn
it was
the
like a
ship set.
huge
Yeah.
success.
So we hope
and it really
everybody gets a
resonated with
chance
people.
to take part
They're
in
just
this
some
awesome
unknowable
time-limited
forces
event.
like
So
Daniel
it starts
Bloodworth.
today,
They like things
and it
that you
runs
just
through to
can't
September the
understand why
7th.
they like
So
them.
that's
No,
the time
Borderlands is
period you've
good.
got to get your hands on the
Ben
Mayhem
likes it.
ship.
Yeah.
And I think that's it
legit
from me. So as always, I will see you on the seas.
Oh, here we go.
Whoa. Can you actually set them on fire?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I've seen.
I'm surprised Randy Pitchford didn't show up. I'm stunned.
That is actually.
He is shaking.
Dude, that was probably,
stunned.
that was
Now,
probably
we're not
part of
done.
the deal. Is it's like, okay, you can have a ship in Sea of
Okay, we
Thieves,
might
but
be
Randy
done now.
Pitchford cannot show up
Cannot be
at
on the
Gamescom.
set.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hope.
Hope.
It's always been a
State of Decay.
Yeah, this is gotta be State of Decay.
I'm so curious about this freaking game.
That's how I
But
used to go
now-
upstairs as a kid.
It's hope that brings us back
Man, at
together.
launch, this was like one of my biggest disappointments of the year.
That
I'm
was
sure
like-
it's. I'm sure it's
That
changed.
was like Jones
Looking
with Dying Light, though, Ben, and then it
builds
became
new
amazing, you know? Not amazing, but Dying Light's
In the
great.
face of a growing.
I bet this is
Yeah.
a lot better now than at
So wait,
launch.
this game's out.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And it was
is that
like
I'm sure it got
was a
updated,
disaster
but
at release.
at launch it was extremely rough.
It looks.
Years old. Seems like a hard game to solo.
Oh yeah. Freaking music.
Definitely getting DMCA out there.
It sounded like, for at least while it's live, it kind of took care of that stuff. But VODs are a question mark.
Welcome back to Trumbull Valley.
I should just dive in. No time.
Do it. You have time.
So curious about it.
Well, just like zombies themselves,
Man,
it seems everything
don't
over
you
gotta
again.
give credit to Xbox though. Like, Sea of
We have a
Thieves,
guest
State
to
of
walk us
Decay,
through
like
this
they just
Undead
keep
update. Please
updating
join me
these
in welcoming
games.
Undead
for
Labs
years
Director
and
of
years.
Communications, Wanda Russell. Hello, Wanda. How are you?
Hello,
Oh.
I'm great. It's great to
Heard
be
this name
here.
before.
Talk about the Homecoming
Wanda?
update releasing on
Wonder.
September 1st. We are very
Oh.
excited to get this into players' hands.
You are indeed. So let's talk about the Homecoming
Don't cover your
update.
mic.
Obviously, we are coming back to Trumbull Valley. We were there for Heartland, the update, back in 2019. Talk to me
She's got
about the
excellent mic
differences, and I'll sit right here and listen because you're dog.
Not really, because she keeps doing that.
So Heartland is
Well,
the story mode
if she
within the
didn't do
game.
that.
It's
If she
a
didn't do
very
that,
linear, narrative-driven experience. You know, players couldn't move their communities there. So that's all changed with the Trumbull Valley map. It is the 5th core open-world map. It's fully remastered, and
Is
it
she wearing a
expands
shirt
into
that says
2
Wonder
territories
on it?
that were completely inaccessible in Heartland.
Seems like
So
it,
players
but I
can
can't
return
tell.
to Trumbull
I think
Valley with their
it is.
communities,
Own it, dude. Love
start
that.
new communities there, and really start exploring everything that the new map has to offer.
So then, would Homecoming be a sequel then to Heartland?
Yeah, exactly right. So
Continuation.
the
So, yeah,
events
wait,
in Heartland
State
of Decay
2 is
kind
The
of
out.
play
expansion
out
is the sequel to the
happens
other
in
expansion? Is that
Trumbull
what they're
Valley.
saying?
Yeah,
So
it's
we
just
think of it as
continuation.
the
Is there a
third
State
part
of
of the
Decay
Trumbull
3
saga
still being made?
that began
Yeah.
with the original State of Decay game, continued into Heartland, and now we see what has happened since then and what storylines might be coming to a close. So there is a lot for players to discover, a lot of environmental storytelling to find, and you know things have
floating
changed.
Jeep?
So
Yeah,
this
what?
isn't the Trumbull Valley that players might
What's a
remember.
floating Jeep?
That's
It
what we
looked
expect.
like-
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, and anytime you
Or maybe it
expand
was a
something like
still
Trumbull Valley, you just have to have
Okay.
Motion?
a juggernaut of
Unclear.
content, pun intended. Talk to me a little bit about what some of those things are that players can get in on here now in the expanded Trumbull Valley.
Yes, a ton of new content.
Trumbull?
In fact, we're doing
Yeah.
something unique with the Trumbull Valley map. There are items there that you
There's
can
no local
only
co-op
find
for
on
this,
that
is
map
there?
and nowhere else
The
in the game.
constant
Including
talking
12 new hats and
Yeah,
outfits,
all of these
10
is
new
really,
very
like,
cool
deflating
weapons.
the-
We've got 6 new bases, 2 new achievements for achievement hunters. And on top of that, we are adding the game's 12th bounty pack. So that will be available
I think it's hard
from
too
the
because
bounty
like a lot of
broker
these
across all
games do
maps.
feel
And I
like
have to
they're kind
say,
of a
they are some
narrow
of the coolest
fan
weapons
base.
I have
Yeah.
ever seen go into the game.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for people
Like I
to
just
find
haven't
them.
personally
A juggernaut amount of
dug
content,
into
and I
Age of
don't care if this
Empires
is the
or
second ton of
Wasteland
Decay.
3 or State
That
of
works
Decay,
out great.
so
Well,
it's just
let's talk about the State of Decay community because it's
trying to find
absolutely
the
an
hook
integral part to this
for
entire
me.
franchise. And State of Decay being on Xbox Game Pass, how has that impacted the community? How has that impacted the game? Talk to me.
Oh
about
yeah, this is a
It's
bad
been fantastic,
question.
and you know we have an amazing community. We love them so
Nobody
much.
cares how
In
good.
fact, one of the reasons we're doing Trumbull Valley as a map is because it was one of the most requested
Sea of
features
Thieves
from
would
the
be
community,
amazing.
which also
Like,
makes it
that would
very
be kind of
exciting
fun.
for us to be able
Like
to
if
say,
someone was playing
we did it, you
this
get
right
it.
now while they
and
were
we have a
talking,
major milestone that we're celebrating.
I think it'd be
State of Decay
better.
2.
Oh yeah, it's the
You
classic
know?
case of show don't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 million lifetime
The
hang your
funny
hat
thing is,
on
like,
that.
I thought this was a
absolutely
lesson
love
that
that.
we
Really
learned
very
like
cool.
3
Incredible,
E3s ago.
amazing
Like
news.
after
Congratulations to you and the entire team at
PlayStation
Undead
did that
Labs,
like
man.
banger with
Fantastic
this
work.
orchestra.
Well, speaking of
I thought
Xbox
everyone
Game
was
Pass,
finally
let's
like,
give me the
oh,
deets
we
one
should
more
just
time
show
when it
game.
comes to the update.
They
So the
clearly
update
did something right
releases
though
September
because
1st. It's
I'm
a
playing
free
this
update
now.
for all State of Decay
Are
2
you?
owners, and it's included with
I've been
Xbox
meaning to
Game
play State of
Pass.
Decay for a long time. This
Happy
is
homecoming.
that update, September
Thank
1st.
you, Wonder,
Sign
very
me
much.
up.
My
For all
pleasure.
owners in Game Pass.
Going in.
Now we move from Trumbull
Diving
Valley to
in.
the Lost Valley of
Diving in.
Kriya.
They got
This
me.
mystical location trades zombies for
Just in
ancient
time for
warrior
Halloween.
clans, forgotten temples of long dead god
Month-
kings, and a
month and
healthy
a
slap.
They want me to talk more about the trebuchet now. I like what's this?
Free alpha build of Straight
Stray Blades.
Stray, your blade.
Stray Old Blade.
This is my game.
Yeah, this is a game I'm making called Stray Blade. Sort of a looter smasher.
Oh no. Lamasher.
I think it still looks better than Godfall.
Certainly does. Howard the Duck was in there. Oh, okay.
Call it a
In
mass
Stray
shooter.
Blade, you discover the mystical lost valley of Akria,
What?
a world which
Stray
ranges
mass
from
shooter?
overgrown
Trying
temple
a
ruins
ma-
to
a
frozen
looter.
caves and winding
Well,
canyons.
let's not do
a
mass
game
shooter.
world that changes based on your victories and plenty of dudes to stab in blade-to-blade combat.
Smoosher.
If that weren't
Plenty
enough,
of
you
dudes
need to
to
get a fuzzy
stab,
little
he
pal to
said.
help you out. Between the epic fights
Perhaps
and this small guy,
a controversial
there's clearly a lot
statement,
going on here. So
despite
let's hear
it being
more
one of my
from
favorite
Point Blank
genres,
Games about Stray
I'm getting
Blade.
kind of burned out on
Hello,
all the
everybody.
Souls likes.
I'm Leonard
Oh,
Purvis,
yeah.
game director
Like every month there's a new Souls-like.
I will show you Stray Blade.
They need to, yeah. At least this one doesn't have fucking souls
Stray
in
Blade
the
is an
title.
action RPG who's exploring the ancient
Like,
valley
that should
of
be
Boji
illegal.
with his companion. a
Don't
witty
put
wolf
Elder,
named
Eldest,
Boji.
Elden,
Unveil
Souls
the history of the Forgotten Valley, master the
in your
powers
game
of the
title.
3 Akrian
Makes you
metals
sound
to restore balance to this war-torn land.
It does, right? It makes it feel like
It feels
it's
like
like
a
an
knockoff.
App Store game
Yeah,
that's just trying to
Makes
get
it
the
feel like
Combat
a
and
knockoff.
exploration are the 2 key elements of our game.
I feel
Let's
like
dive
it's
into
all,
combat first.
it comes in waves though. I feel like
Our combat
the Souls
system
games are going to
merges
slow
strategic
down, and now it's
anticipation
like
of enemy
the
attacks,
roguelike.
split-second
It's
blade-to-blade
been
reactions.
going for a
It's
long
taken over.
time, and they've
Skill-based
announced a
melee
bunch that
weapon
have
combat.
still yet to come
It's
out.
To achieve that, we put our hearts into
I feel
creating
like the
fluid,
roguelites now are
well-readable animations
on the
and epic
rise.
cinematic finishes.
Well, now they're just
You can
combining
choose
like
from
That
multiple
Souls-
weapon combos
Souls like
that can be
roguelike.
combined to fit your playstyle. Now, let's take a look at the exploration.
It's a cool character.
Kriya's
I feel like
colorful
this is
world ranges from
too
overgrown
Souls-like,
city ruins
It's
to
like a
frozen
Souls
caves and
MMO or
winding
something?
canyons.
The
Together
vibe?
with your companion, explore the deepest corners
I like
of
this
an ever-changing
Biomutant
world,
character.
Yeah.
bristling with adventure.
He does look.
Every discovery
Yeah,
holds
yeah.
treasure.
Biomutant
Find
cover
raw materials,
immediately.
recipes,
Biomutant,
weapons, lore pieces,
Palamute,
and
or
beautiful
Palico?
places. Change is part of your journey, where every victory impacts the world around you. When you die,
greatest
time keeps moving
game titles of
forward.
all time.
Enemies can't stay dead.
Biomutant.
New foes invade camps that you weakened. And when Boji revives you, only one thing is certain. The change you brought shapes what now awaits you.
It's interesting.
And of course,
I like
get
that.
ready for epic
Yeah.
boss fights.
We just saw this shot.
Now
We
we
hope
saw
you
it in
enjoyed the
game.
first look at Stray Blade, which will be out next year. And keep an eye on our social media channels for more information.
They lied. 2021, I thought.
Now the wheels are off.
Crusader
Next
games.
up,
Anything
one
could
of the
happen.
most unique games.
Another game
comes
that's
to
really
Xbox.
hard to show in this
And-
kind of
and
format.
yeah,
As
been
in, my
out.
evil twin murdered 4 of my husbands because
Last
they
year,
secretly
was
are
it
in
for
love
Goaty?
with me. Unique.
What?
It was up for Goaty last year.
Yeah.
In case that didn't tip you off,
Good
we're
game,
talking about
but again,
Crusader
if you're
Kings
into it,
3,
you're into
the
it. If
medieval
you're not,
grand
you're not.
strategy and role-playing game that has you trying to defend your royal line
kind of
from
zipper is
those
this
that will
jacket?
conquer your kingdom.
I think
Evil
it's
Twins
just kind of got a flap that covers it.
Yeah.
I like
It's
it.
coming to
Well, on the
Xbox
other
as an
side, it's like a
adaptation,
flat-
not a direct
I
port.
like the
meaning
colors
that
on
the
that
viewpoint
Xbox shirt, too.
controls
It's
have
cool.
been
Yeah.
refined
Yeah, I
to
really
bring
like
that
that
grand
shirt a lot.
strategy experience to a controller.
I'm not as into the jacket.
Not to
but I
mention
like
bringing the
shirt.
grand
Yeah, I don't like
strategy
the jacket.
experience
Really.
to my comfy living room couch.
We'll all be ruling from our throne room soon enough.
God,
Check
that
out
sounds-
Crusader
that's
Kings 3
nightmare.
now.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's something that it's like it's cool that they're adding it. I never want to play the game that way.
I like the edit on that snake shot.
My son, we
I
must
do
never forget the
wonder if it
crimes
will have,
committed against us.
Keyboard mouse support.
Sought
Great
his
question.
glorious
It
Yeah,
revenge.
I would assume so.
But you can hook them up.
Yeah, I think it does.
Does it have connects?
He never understood
Xbox, marry my
that
nephew
the
to
greatest
my
Yeah,
ally.
yeah, that's
Xbox?
yours?
weddings, not
No,
warriors.
the other ally in the north.
Xbox
Daggers,
incest.
not swords.
It's just funny
Murder my son,
that
please.
they're doing this thing with the screen because
Yeah.
otherwise it would just look like
Only the
parts
It's very hard to
small-minded measure
edit
success
videos.
across the span
I can
of a
imagine.
single
Make it
life.
I
look-
can imagine.
The real game is
It is
played
entertaining.
across
It's crazy.
generations.
But so complicated.
Even doing like a Civ review, it can be hard.
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
Real strategy requires cunning.
Play day one.
Well, I mean,
Crusader
that's
Kings
a weird
3 is
slogan.
You really haven't
Yeah,
lived.
it's not day one for Crusader Kings 3.
It's nice to have hobbies. We've all gotten into some weird stuff this past year.
Weird, like diving into people's brains and exploring their mental universes,
Oh,
projected
yeah.
into a psychedelic 60s
Don't
wonderland
skip.
kind of weird.
Oh, I like that color
Exactly
change.
that kind of
Oh,
weird.
sweet.
Which means I am so excited for
Isn't
Psychonauts to
that
finally get a sequel.
thing
It's
in the
been
middle, like a
so
massive
No, it's a
stand?
video screen.
There really
It's
is
part of the
something
video
special
screen.
about
I think it's like
Psychonauts,
a,
isn't it?
supposed to look
Really
like a
is
circuit,
indeed.
like
Now,
powering
think about
the
this. 2005,
screen.
when Psychonauts originally came out, was a different time for gaming. Most of the biggest games that year, we're talking Resident Evil 4,
Yeah, check out our
Battlefield
review
2, Call of Duty
this game that's
2.
out.
They were great games, for
Um,
sure. But they were all big.
Tonight.
Yeah. It's not quite.
Meanwhile, Psychonauts
Like my
had
son.
humor, whimsy, and surprisingly heartfelt moments.
Did they just
It was an
take a subtle
oasis
jab at
of
Resident Evil
color
4
and humanity
for just being
in an
another
era
shooter
when
game?
games were
Is that what I
increasingly
heard?
turning grimy.
That's what it sounds.
I mean, that would be
kind of condescending.
Oh my gosh.
That would be a weird.
Wow.
That would be a weird statement.
That's why
Wow.
the original is
Did they
considered
call out
a
Resident
cult
Evil 4?
classic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for being
It
just
has been
another
a long
shooter
time
game. They
coming,
said it in
and
the
it's
same sentence as
finally
Call of
here.
Duty.
Enjoy this long-awaited launch
Also,
trailer for
Call of Duty
Wow.
was entirely different at that time.
Well, this shouldn't take too long.
Unnecessary shots.
Alright.
It's unbelievable how good this game is.
Yeah.
It's.
Ben, you don't toss around 9.5
No, you
so
absolutely don't.
very freely.
It is like.
It's the highest score this year.
It is like incredibly written. It's and like
I'm
funny the entire time.
And today is my first day on the job.
Get ready.
Yeah, some of the sound ups I found for the review, I
Yeah.
literally laughed out loud.
Yeah.
Like that little kid with the radio.
Yeah.
I
Did
was
you
like,
forget
this is really
everything I taught you about levitation, Rasputin?
I'm not supposed to check out equipment to interns.
You did what? Can we just...
No. Quit picking on the new kid. We were all new once, in case you forgot.
I've got eyes on the target.
And the thing is
I've got
like.
eyes on me.
So Psychonauts 1, also really well written, also very creative in its ideas and locales and things, but like kind of a pain to control sometimes. Psychonauts 2 plays like a dream. Like it's so smooth and good. Combat is super fun, a surprising amount of depth. The boss fights are incredible.
The first time the Psychonauts underestimated.
Because I mentioned the boss fights in the review, and I was like, I cannot show any of them. Like, they're that good, yeah.
Leave it to me.
So dope, man. Shit. Yeah, Ben, I was probably gonna skip it, and then you're like, no, 9.5.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
oh,
No, I mean,
must play.
It's easily my game of the year, for
Is
sure.
James Willems in it? He had a voice in it, I think.
Yeah,
I know he's a
think-
huge Psychonauts fan.
I
I
think he's
didn't-
in there somewhere.
I didn't notice
a
his
talking
voice
toilet
during my
or something?
playthrough, but...
Well, it's
He might be
clear
like
I could
an
not be
Easter
more
egg.
excited for Psychonauts 2 because
Reese is
I
in
gotta
there
be
too?
honest, me and that
Funny.
original game, we got
James
some
is a
beef
toilet. I
that needs
remember he said
settling.
he
If you
wanted to
know,
be a
you
toilet,
know,
and they were
the
like,
meat
okay.
circus level, it is infamous, it is brutal, it is difficult to say the least. It's the
love
final
that,
level
dude.
of the original game that came out, and I cannot believe I'm doing the math on this one. 16 years ago,
Woof.
Tim Schafer and Lizette Teatree Montgomery. I am definitely dating myself, but you all welcome from Double Fine Productions. Thank you so much for being here. Tim, can you believe it has been 16 years? I almost said 19 years.
Yeah, it feels like only yesterday, but it kind of was for Raz because the story picks up right where the first game left off. And even though it has been a lot of years, it's a game that matters a lot to us. We really love it here at Double Fine, and we know that a lot of fans, it meant a lot to them. And so we really want to be true to the spirit of the first game, which we were able to do because we brought back a lot of the same voice actors, and we also have a lot of people on the team here that worked on the first game, as well as bringing on a bunch of new people like Lisette.
Thank you. It was really important for us to carry the legacy forward, especially the cool style
Apparently
of Wonk
Lawrence
that is
wrote this
very prevalent in the first game.
Okay.
All right.
Style of
Very
Wonk.
cool.
Just put it on a shirt. I'm in there for it. Let's roll it back a bit. Of course, this can be a kind of a trippy idea if you're not familiar. Psychonauts, they still jump into people's minds, I'm assuming, like the first game, right? So if a Psychonaut sort of dove into my brain, it would be like a lot of Ted Lasso quotes
Man,
and French
that is
Bulldog
one of the
memes.
most
Am I
impressive things
correct?
about the game is like
Yeah, that's
how
what's fun about a
abstract
Psychonauts
and
game
weird
is that all the levels are different.
the
just like
levels
every
that you're
person's
platforming
based
through
on their
are, but
personality.
they
if you could jump into
manage to
someone's
construct
mind,
it in a
what
way
would
where
look
it
like
feels
that?
really
What would
weird,
be-
but
what
it's
would be the
you're
color
not
of the
you're never
sky?
lost
Like, who
or
would the
stuck,
monster
but they
be?
still
In
naturally
Psychonauts, you get to
guide
do
you
that 'cause
along
Raz has the power
in
of
a way that
astral
is
projection.
really, really, really
And when he goes
impressive.
in, he gets to
Yeah.
fight those
That's why
monsters and
I'm
help
really
people deal
curious
with their
for
nightmares and wrestle
some of
with
you
their
guys
inner
to
demons.
get into It Takes
And
Two,
so
because
there's
it has
a ton
a
of
lot of the
variety,
same
and
strengths.
there's a lot of anything
Where
goes.
just like
You
you
go to
just
any
the
location,
further you
you
get
can
is
have
like
any art
how
style,
could they
and
do
coming up with,
anything
new
else?
levels for the
And then they
second
do
game
something
was,
else.
really
Oh,
fun to do.
funny.
Like so much
I
creativity.
loved it from the first game, certainly. Let's talk to a little bit about how that kind of concept expresses itself in the game world. I mean, Psychonauts 2 has got it all over the place, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was really important for us to carry forward the unique brain worlds and unique levels from the first game and the unique style as well. So we were really focused on how we could bring forward that style in Wonk and also bring in new levels and enemies.
Now, of course, it wouldn't be Psychonauts without new mental demons, and I'm sure it's happening in Psychonauts too. What does this mean? Does it mean basically is that we're finally able to slap COVID anxiety in the face?
At all.
I don't know if you get to slap anxiety in your face, but you definitely get to slap some panic attacks, and COVID definitely caused a lot of those. In addition to panic attacks, some of our old enemies have also come back. Our sensors are our favorites, and they're definitely here. And in addition to that, we also have our doubts and some new enemies. There's our lovely sensor. Also, some regrets, some flying regrets. There are a ranged enemy, and they definitely are challenging. Our doubts are our slow,
the way the enemies work together
you're also seeing our
is really fun.
He is our, it energizes our whole combat troop. Cool. So we have a whole cast that you can battle and fight with.
Including the new Bad Mood.
Including the Bad Mood.
Which is...
It's an electric storm of feelings that you have to fight.
Now, for those who haven't played the original, available now on Xbox Game Pass, by the way. Wink. Tim, why is Raz so good at rummaging through brains?
So somebody's saying that they were playing.
Raz is, he has some very special skills. He has two whole sets of skills. One being the acrobatic
It's much
skills
worse. If you can, I would recommend playing the Xbox version of Psychonauts 1 or the PC
get around to all kinds of.
I think the PC version is probably the better pick.
Which is that he's a powerful psychic, so he can levitate.
Do you need to play 1 before playing 2?
I think so.
I saw a lot of people saying that you don't. I disagree. I think that how tightly connected the stories are, you definitely
from the review I got the impression that it takes place like almost immediately after.
It does. It is. Well, it's not immediately after 1. It's immediately after the VR game.
He has a power time bubble, which is just change.
They did put together a
recap
video,
how things are moving
by
changing his perception of time. And he also has the power.
If you can, I would recommend at least playing 1
out of his unconscious mind.
How
bring
long
it
is
into
the 1.
It's 99 cents on Steam right now, apparently.
Puzzle solving.
10 to 12 hours.
But let's talk about the story for a second, because as the original Psychonauts, we saw Raz training to be part of an organization, and now perhaps he's part of a whole organization at this point. And are there other brain agents, other Psychonauts out there that maybe grew up in a completely different circus?
Rumsrun also very good.
Yeah, we have a lot of new characters in this game.
We do. We have a lot of new characters in this game. As soon as Raz arrives on the headquarters, he immediately gets introduced to the interns. And the interns quickly tell him and show him how he fits into the organization.
The bottom.
They're right down at the bottom.
Yeah, so earn his way back to the top again. He's no longer the coolest kid in summer camp.
Family or something?
And much to his chagrin, his entire family, his entire embarrassing circus clothes wearing family comes to visit him.
Every member of Raz's family is so good.
The interns find out that he's the awkward middle child of a circus family. Each one of them has their own quirks and foibles, and some of them are even psychic. And so a lot of their story gets told in this game, including their backstory and how it relates to the foundation of the Psychonauts themselves.
Well, I like that. And of course, as you might know already, I'm sold. But you, of course, already knew that. When can myself and the rest of the world exact some beefy, meaty revenge?
Yeah, I've already got
you can get back to the beef and play Psychonauts 2 on August 25th on Xbox Game Pass and PC.
There it is. Lizette, Tim from Double Fine, thank you so much.
Not mentioning the PS4 version intentionally.
To everyone at Double Fine on the launch of Psychonauts 2.
It's expected, but it's funny.
We're excited.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you
Crusader
can catch
Kings
more
is
of
also
Tim
coming
Schafer
to
and ask
PS5,
him those burning
that
questions
Chet
about
said.
the newest game in the fan favorite franchise in our Xbox
Psychonauts
Live
2, though,
stream
not coming to
tomorrow.
PS5,
But
PS4
first,
version only.
we're going from cleaning out mental cobwebs to cleaning up alien planets.
Yeah!
Satisfying 4K 60 trailer for The Gunk.
The Gunk!
SteamWorld Dig 2, so good. These guys are so nice. I really like these guys. Game in development.
Pretty sure the ship's insurance won't cover alien storm damage. You have to be careful out there.
Sounds like Aisha Tyler.
Some gunk's eating everything here. This planet is literally a paradise when the gunk's gone.
So different from what they made.
Yeah. But you still kind of see the style of her hair and everything.
Yeah, her arm gun thing is very... So is this game secretly in the SteamWorld universe? My guess is
I
yes.
think it is. And I don't think it's a secret, but I could be misremembering.
I think of SteamWorld Dig 2, and I'm pissed off more people didn't play it.
SteamWorld Dig 2 is so good.
It's so good, and
So
it's so
good.
short, and it's all killer, no filler.
Yeah, dude. Did they have a date on that?
I
didn't see it. No date. Yeah.
We have talked about so many incredible games today, and it's hard to pick a
Really?
favorite. But let me just say, it is so cool
got,
that
like,
Stage
20
Decay
minutes
2
left.
is expanding Trumbull Valley. Come on. And hey, you know what? Great job on that Flight Sim interview.
Oh, thank you. I mean,
Forza's
talking
gotta
to
get
Jorg
in here
is
somewhere,
always
too.
a blast,
yeah.
and Flight Sim is such a special game to me because, I mean, it's literally letting me travel the world. But I was staring daggers of jealousy watching you talk to Tim.
This does
and
sound
Lizette
like a Forza
and
song.
Brett Double Fine.
Well, I will say this. I understand, but you got to play Psychonauts 2 already, so I don't even want to hear it.
That's true, but it's not the same as talking to the creators. Just trust me when I tell you. Be excited for Psychonauts 2.
I will say this as well. I am excited to see even more of Psychonauts 2 on our Xbox Plays streams.
Or you could just
don't
play
forget.
it.
Right.
Xbox Plays will recap all the
Yeah.
week's news throughout
We'll
the
be able to
week
play it.
at twitch.tv/Xbox.
This is like the
So
fourth
make sure
recap
to
of
check
what
that
this
out.
show has been.
Before
in
Kate and I
this
let
show.
Playground Games take
I
the
still
wheel,
don't know.
let me
Yeah,
just
this is one of the
say
things that
it
are
has been
particularly
our
bad at it.
pleasure
Just
to chat games and
filler
nerd out with
in between
everyone
things.
today.
Oh,
Just
it's
don't do
hands
it.
down the
Yeah.
best
Just make
part
it an
of the job,
hour-long show.
for sure.
But we're far from done here.
Too true. Now, in June, Playground Games announced that Forza Horizon 5, the
Too
highly
true.
anticipated follow-up to
on,
2018's breakout
Mix.
hit open-world
There it
driving
is.
game Forza Horizon 4 arrives on November 9th on Xbox consoles, Xbox Game Pass for console, PC, and cloud, and of course,
I wish they showed anything.
And if you're watching our
Did you
Xbox
say Forza
YouTube
Horizon
channel,
They also
switch
said
over
that
to our
the
Xbox
only
Twitch
Forza
channel to
Motorsport
see
that is
all
not been
this new
delisted will
exclusive
soon be
content.
delisted.
and
Oh.
that is twitch.tv/Xbox for the full
Kid,
vroom
shows
vroom
tomorrow.
experience. And if you're
Shredder's
already watching on
Revenge.
Twitch or one of the Forza channels, stay right where you are.
Without further ado, let's dive in, starting with the new custom Forza Horizon 5 controller, which is available
Oh,
for
come on,
pre-order today,
Xbox. I don't
so
wanna see your
players can
controller.
have it in hand by November 9th when the standard edition of the game launches.
I want it to be like, here's the Forza controller, and it smells like burnt rubber.
Big old ridiculous trailer.
God. This really is like.
Imagine people being like in a concert venue
You're
for a
gonna take
controller,
that.
dude.
I mean, it's I mute
see-through
the
is
TV when like an app pops up on the screen. Yeah, same thing.
Should have muted this entire.
Mute it, take the headphones out. Same thing.
This looks like Rage 2.
Yeah, this
It does look like Rage
scream
2.
Forza to me. Like, it's a cool looking controller, but.
Sure, yeah, it's nice. The Rage comparison is hilariously on point.
It does look like
It's
Rage 2.
so on point.
Way more
It
like
will
Rage
forever
than-
be the Rage controller in my mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Yeah. that is
This is not
spot on.
Forza.
Like
That's a cool
if
looking
the
controller.
Rage Mohawk guy was
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
holding it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so.
Charlie here, and I'm at Playground Games with Forza
hey.
Horizon creative director Mike Brown and Forza Horizon art director Don Arcetta. Hello,
Totally changed
everybody.
locations.
Hey everyone,
Yeah, they
hi
shot
Charlie.
this
Hey Charlie,
Hello.
how cool is this?
That is stunning. Look at that. Well, we obviously just saw
This
a
is
really
like
cool
a
video about
QVC
it, and
channel.
I'll be the first to say there's an
This
amazing
entire
influence of
thing.
Mexican car culture
And
and
you
music,
can order now.
literally
Right.
displayed right across the front. Isn't
Order
that
now
right?
to get it.
Absolutely, it just feels
by
like
November when the
it's part of the
standard
Horizon
edition comes
Festival,
out.
like it's just dropped out of the game into your lap.
Absolutely.
Absolutely love it.
The white
And there's so
bag.
much
Listen,
we do want
man,
to show the
it's
fans,
just
and
a
it's quite
controller.
difficult
Come
to
on.
decide where to start. So, can you maybe tell us a bit more about the game, Mike?
Sure, yeah. So
Right.
Forza Horizon 5 is bringing the Horizon Festival's unique brand of fun and freedom to beautiful and vibrant Mexico. Players are going to set out across the largest, most diverse open world we've ever built in hundreds of the world's most beautiful and exciting cars.
Yeah, and people think that Mexico is just a desert or a beach, but there's so much more to it, isn't there?
That's
This game
right.
looks
Even though it does have
bonkers,
pretty
like
awesome
the
beaches and
graphics.
a number
Oh,
of
yeah,
amazing
this game will be
deserts,
amazing.
it also
Crazy.
has vast canyons, hidden temples.
But
awesome,
thinking about how they
beautiful
presented it at
historic cities,
E3, it
and
was
even
so
a
effective.
towering
And
snow
it's like,
capital
look at
thing,
how
the
good
highest
this
point
looks,
ever
and I
had
feel like they
Horizon
really
game.
focused in on
So
that.
you've talked about how Forza Horizon 5
Yeah, when they
showcases
first started
powerful,
showing it,
all
there's
new
this
graphical
moment of like,
features.
what
but what
is
more
this
can you tell
game?
us
Yeah.
about that?
And this is
Yeah,
just
all the Mexican HDR sky capture
Yeah,
it
really
sat on
make
that,
the world to
and
the
then the
point
car
where you
drove
feel
in, and
like
we were like,
you're
oh!
really there.
And thanks to the Xbox Series X and S, ray tracing is utilized in Forza Vista to really make our
this
cars
should
look
be
more
on at
true
like
to
1
real
o'clock
life.
in the morning.
This makes me want to switch over to
smallest
Forensic
of
Fire.
details as you travel throughout the world.
I want to
all
watch
rendered,
this in my bed.
It's like when you're looking at the TV guide and it's like, okay, from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. is paid program.
Definitely been waiting for
it's
the
an
most.
Xbox
Like, what exactly is that?
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. We are about to reveal the cover of Forza Horizon 5, featuring the incredible
there's gonna be cars
Mercedes
on it.
AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. Should we take a look?
Let's do it, yeah.
No, let's not.
Ford Bronco.
That's a wild looking car.
I like its flaps.
Yeah.
Has cool flaps.
Sexual.
Oh god, if the Forza Horizon 5 cover was just the Rage 2 cover, that would make it.
That would be so funny. Except the Mohawk guy's holding a car.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, car, Ford Bronco. I like that this car has like a Mohawk stabilizer. No gameplay trailer has been longer than 30 seconds in this thing.
And it's November,
trailer.
right?
It was a
It was a
QR
car
review.
trailer, yeah.
That's so close.
November 9th?
Yeah.
Now
You
those are
think
two
they'd,
very
like, blow
different
it
ways to
out?
explore Mexico.
They might
So what
still.
I want to know is why
on
those
Game
two
Pass.
cars were chosen and what players can
I want
expect
to see
when
those
they get
sexy
behind the wheel.
flaps.
I just
Yes,
want to
so those
see
differences are exactly why we chose
gameplay
them.
of
Mercedes
anything.
Yeah, I
AMG
mean, this is the kind of thing where it's like the least interesting thing. It's like,
Yeah.
why did you pick the cars that you put on the cover? It's like, well, because we got a really good deal on new cars.
Yeah.
Because we contractually have to.
She was like, Mexico is more than just desert and beach. Isn't that amazing? And it's like, what the hell?
Shows
is going
desert and
on?
beach with the car reveal.
Mike, can you tell us about what we're about to see next?
Yes, so in a
Just
few moments'
show us
time,
what we're
we'll
about
be
to
kicking
see
off a
next.
Forza Horizon 5 Let's Go stream, and everybody should check that out for a big deep dive into loads of new content and features from Forza Horizon 5.
I can't shake
But before
the
that,
PVC
we have
thing now.
8 minutes of brand
it's all I can
new
think about.
gameplay
Everything
where we're going
is
to see
fitting
both the Mercedes AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands. And in typical Horizon fashion, we are going to
Is
see
that what he said?
active
He said 8 minutes
volcanoes,
of
cars
gameplay.
jumping out
Wow.
of cargo planes
Alright.
and a race.
They're
and
not
But I wasn't clear
lying.
whether that's
all the
happening
way
in
to the
this or in their own stream later.
It's a veritable blowout.
Hey. Oh no, please.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Where do we drop it?
Oh no.
I mean, I'm into that.
Wait, is this the one that has the Battle Royale thing?
They did add a Battle Royale in 4, but I don't know if it's going to be in 5 at launch.
Yes.
Hey, that plane looked like that controller.
Nice. Oh yeah, this is great.
This game looks...
Yes, this is going to be a blast.
Yeah.
Here we take control of the 2021
Yeah,
Ford
I really
Bronco
wish
I
there
Badlands.
was a
genuinely
talking
would
there.
recommend
Oh, yeah.
it to anybody.
Snow
Like, you
caps,
don't have to be a
Caldera
driving game fan.
volcano.
Yeah.
There's so much fun stuff to do and discover.
Yeah.
Multiplayer.
Horizon games have called to me. I never actually had to play.
GoldenEye vibes.
GoldenEye, dude.
It's the perfect, like, I just want to vibe out for an hour.
Yeah.
For England, James. Oh yes!
You did it!
Yes.
Woo!
Yeah, and just those kind of jumps and fun moments to get just right. The feel of it.
That's what I look for in a video game. Just fun
And
moments.
it looks incredible.
Yeah, the graphics are blowing up. Yeah, the jumping looks really good. The impact when you land.
Can you imagine landing at 180 miles an hour like
Oh my
that?
god. And that's miles per hour. Yeah, wow. That seems impossible.
Just jumping right in. Yeah.
Would have been kind of cooler without a cutscene.
If you were on that track and a car just landed, that'd be the scariest thing ever.
Well, these kind of these kind of things are sort of like the they're kind of like the benchmark moments, almost like boss battles.
Oh, okay.
Drop zone approaching. Lovely day for a drive.
Every human should have the chance to be dropped in a car from a helicopter.
So now we see the 2020
I don't think that's likely
tearing up
for
that
almost
wall
anyone
towards
on the
a dust
planet.
storm in the Mexican
Tom
farmland.
Cruise has probably done it.
Didn't even slow down.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what's great too is in the Horizon games you get all the other players.
Yeah.
Zipping around back and forth. If you want to challenge somebody to a slip race or something.
Oh, because it's always online.
Yeah.
Love my Evos.
And they've made everything, like in 4, like they made everything so seamless, and so that you don't have to worry about pausing the game or anything like that. You just play.
I want to play 4 right now.
It holds up so well. Like anytime you turn that game on, it just looks amazing.
Well, and they had the like Hot Wheels and Lego DLC, right?
Hot Wheels was 3.
Okay.
Lego was 4.
Yeah.
But the Lego DLC was
really
cool,
great.
right?
Whichever one. Yeah.
Just like punching through bricks in Lego is great.
When's that new Hot Wheels game coming out?
September 30th.
Interesting.
Yeah, I want to group through that.
I'm interested in this.
I think it might be a little dry for some people. A little bit more skill-based, it's not like weapons and stuff, but...
He didn't make it.
Dead.
Oh, this looks fantastic.
Yeah, it does.
Holy crap.
A
But yeah,
Porsche
the jungle always gets
Next up
killed on
is the Porsche 911.
Oh, on the stream, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the thing is, that's always a good sign where you're like, man, I wish I wasn't seeing this through stream.
Yeah.
The 4K version is going to be up after the broadcast.
That'll be better, but probably
still not going to be as good as seeing in person, yeah. Dude, when I did the Dirt Rally 2 review, it was killing me because like no matter what I did with compression settings or whatever, it just like turned into garbage on YouTube.
Well, because it can't compress the pixels because they're like constantly different.
Yeah.
So you just have to have a giant file.
But even that, like even like trying to like up the quality on the export, once YouTube got.
I mean, H.264 is
Yeah.
still going to be a H.264. You'd have to put up like an uncompressed like pretend.
Every human should have the opportunity to race through a jungle
in a Porsche.
Yes. Let's all come together and make that happen.
Yeah. This looks so.
I'm sure that there's somewhere you can rent them. You can do that. Yeah. I've done ATVs through stuff like this before.
Remember, this studio is making Fable.
I can't wait to see Fable.
Cannot wait.
Yeah.
That game is gonna look crazy.
I've never been a Fable fan, but I'm so looking forward to what they do.
Well, it's so exciting because Playground games are.
Yeah. I like the impact. The water really slows you down. It feels really realistic, but not like it doesn't like sap the fun out of it.
I do think the like announcers and stuff in Forza Horizon can be a little grating, but like I think you get so wrapped up in the race that you just kind of tune it out anyway.
Right. And then some of like the side quest branches, some of those missions and stuff, like the ones where like you were, I think, recreating like a bunch of movie scenes in 4 was really cool. Even though, again, the dialogue was not great, but the scenarios themselves were.
Every human should be able to do this.
Yeah. Back out of an airplane.
Yeah.
I would love it if it's like, if you sign up for Xbox Game Pass, we will drop you out of a plane.
In real life.
In real life, yeah.
And on the final leg, we have the stunning Mercedes AMG 1 at full speed.
What's funny is like they wanted to make sure that
Sun-baked
like
rocky
we
coast.
weren't just looking at deserts the whole time. But again, this desert
looks incredible.
looks so much different than the other deserts.
Oh
we
man,
saw.
them just racing on the hills there is awesome.
I've been to dunes once in my life, lower, and it was awesome. I want to go back to some dunes. And I'd love to
Wait,
sand.
did you dune race?
We did. I think we were in a buggy, and we just kind of walked around. But what I would love to do is the mountain boarding. I want to do snow kiting. I have a trainer kite.
What better time than now? Let's go.
I have a trainer kite in my trunk.
The subtle terrain changes on this course are really great.
I would love like an island down at the beach, but you're like racing. You just
Racing
blow a
dude,
ton of
buddy.
money.
I don't know if I have time to record what I wanted to do before.
200 miles an hour.
Come to Dubai?
Make it 200. 210 would chill.
I'm so stoked for that. Might be my return to this.
Also, another thing that kind of gets lost in the expression.
Love the flame flying.
The performance on these games is fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like black magic.
I don't understand how it's possible, honestly.
Like for it to look this good and run as well as it does. It's
Shit's
just nuts.
whipping by. Every human being should.
Every human being.
That just energized
Yeah,
me.
dude. Yeah.
More, please. More
I want
Forza,
the
please.
back of the box
That's
to
it.
say
Save the best for
human.
last.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, honestly, saved the only thing worth watching.
Literally, that was the only thing in this.
I mean, they actually showed a game.
That was
They
the
actually
only
let you
gameplay.
watch a game for a while.
No Halo, man.
I can't believe that's
Oh
it.
yeah, no Halo.
No Halo.
No
I
Halo.
thought it was a
I
guarantee.
can't believe no Halo.
And I was wrong.
Dude, that show was like a 1 out of 10, and then
Yeah.
Forza was like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
So it becomes like a
Forza's
2 out of
its
10.
own- Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, so it
Picture
averages up
result
to...
is no. I didn't realize the mods were doing predictions on Halo.
Sorry, everybody, no Halo.
What was the
Pessimist
different-
getting paid.
Oh yeah, man.
Tomorrow, though, we will be here reacting to Gamescom, the Keeley-verse.
Elden Ring, baby.
Shredder's
Show
Revenge!
it?
Elden Ring
Do you think
I don't
gameplay
see why
demo.
not.
Shredder's Revenge
I wouldn't
confirmed!
say necessarily they would, but
But
They're
I mean,
gonna
like-
show Elden Ring and Shredder's Revenge at the same time.
They're gonna show the
Give me
games.
split fee.
They're literally going to show the games they couldn't show in this because Keeley got them.
Here's the thing, Isla, is
I'm
like
gonna laugh so hard.
I
Halo's
can't
there
believe
tomorrow.
like I'd waited so long for Elden Ring that when they showed it, now I'm like anything is possible.
yeah.
You know, the-
I almost don't want to see Silent Hill. You stop it. I
okay,
don't
well
know
now
if
we're getting crazy.
I don't know if I want to see more Elden Ring. I'm so
Sure.
already in.
Yeah,
And
I think
I've
we
watched
need to
the
see a
Vati
good
video.
But you
gameplay.
gotta show up anyway. There
Oh,
might as
yeah.
be some Elden
Oh,
Ring
I
there.
mean, I'll watch more of it.
Yeah.
I've watched the Vati video thing like 4 times.
Oh god, don't get me started on
No,
Silent Hill.
if
please.
they put Halo in opening night live, then Xbox just needs to not do this.
Yes,
Yeah, they should
absolutely.
just not
They're-
do this,
they-
yeah.
Yes, 100%.
I think if Keeley watched this, he's probably feeling really good right now.
Oh, absolutely.
You know? His show
He could show
tomorrow.
up with a 4 and,
Yeah.
and crush it.
Yeah.
I would love for him to just like get out there and just like needlessly shit talk.
Like, you gave it a shot, Xbox.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
Dude, we could see Metal Gear Solid like movie.
The Humble
footage.
montage was a highlight.
And,
Yeah.
and the thing is, it's like,
Humble, the Gunk, and Horizon.
The
The
Gunk
Gunk,
was great, yeah.
the Gunk was
I
cute.
feel like any event like this, you kind of hope, you always hope that it's like a killer showing.
Yeah.
And if it's not a killer showing, you hope it's like so bad that it's funny. The worst is when it's just kind of nothing.
Yeah, just kind of boring.
Yeah.
I do think it's improved over past years, but still.
Well, improved on Inside Xbox stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
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 Signalis looks crazy. I'm so stoked for that. It ticks all my boxes.
You know, I go through this every time because it's like, what are they supposed to do other than talk about their games?
Yeah.
Like, these are some of Xbox's main games,
But that's the
and
thing,
they're talking
so
about
many of
it.
these things are just like they're like these empty statements. They're just like
Yeah,
these top
yeah.
line
Right.
conceptual things that don't really
It's
they
gotten
don't
to
really
the
give you
point-
any insight.
It's not the talking was the problem. It's like
Yeah.
Age of Empires 4 is coming out in November.
Right.
That is exclusive to Xbox and PC.
Yeah.
Show me the game.
Totally.
Right.
Like, what
It's
are you
gotten to
doing?
the point where it feels like with so many of these press conferences that we're doing them because we have to. We're doing it because we have the time slot,
Yeah.
not because we have anything to say or to show.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Yeah.
This could have easily been a blog post for sure. Like that whole controller like the whole
The
Crusader
controller thing.
Crusader Kings 3, they could have just said coming to Xbox with controller support.
Yeah.
You know?
Psychonauts 2 was great.
Play
but-
day one.
Play day one.
Psychonauts 2 is great, but one of my things is like, yo, if your game is out this
Yeah.
week,
Tonight?
like,
Right.
I don't need to see it. In
Right.
the,
I mean,
in the
I
comments.
think it's because they're doing a later on they're doing like a Psychonauts 2 thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Totally.
But in a showcase like this.
Yeah.
But that's what I was
That's
saying
the
earlier.
only-
Like, is there anything here that they couldn't have just given us the schedule? You know, because
Right,
it's
right.
like Dying Light 2,
Like-
Flight Simulator updates, The Humble Montage, Into the Pit, Age of Empires 4, Wasteland 3, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, straight. Like, I feel like if you just gave us the schedule, then like people that wanted to tune in
Right,
for what they
right.
want to tune in for would, instead of like everyone just kind of being on the edge of the seat. Like, when's Halo?
I forgot about the Borderlands ship.
Oh my God.
That thing looked
yeah.
awful.
Well, like that's the thing is like it's also like this compounding issue of hype because like some of these press conferences are bangers, and so we want all of them to be
right,
and we don't ever learn our lesson.
Well, and
because
there's
we all have hope.
Well, because the last ones they've been doing a really good job of setting expectations.
Yeah,
you know,
they just failed.
They
to
did
do so.
say that they're just
Yeah.
going to be giving updates on existing titles. They're not going
Oh,
to announce new games.
Well, no, they were like, we're going to focus on 2021 things. It's like, okay, well, what's the biggest 2021 game coming out on Xbox? Oh, it's Halo. Oh, it's not here at all in any capacity.
Right.
In fact, it's not even mentioned. Like,
Did they even say the word Halo?
Coming
There was
coming out in
Cortana
a
cosplay
couple of
before the
months.
show.
Oh yeah. Heavens.
and
to
like
Murgatroyd.
Like, I feel like my expectations were appropriately placed.
Yeah.
Same.
I
with-
didn't even know what this was when I showed up this morning. I was
with-
like, what is this, Xbox?
With Dying Light 2 as well, that's a game I'm excited about,
Yeah.
but that's just a victim of one of those things where it's been so long now that every time it
but
shows
I will
up,
say that as
it's
somebody
just the
who's
same
been-
kind of footage.
Exactly.
every
I feel like
single
they just
time.
kind of
They haven't really shown anything super new.
Right.
But,
But I will say, as somebody who's in a bit checked
Totally.
out on all their updates, that like seeing it again today is like, oh yeah, like actually I'm interested in checking this out. Whereas it hadn't really been a thought in my mind before.
Well, they had
the
said that
delays.
they kind of like delayed it and went back to the drawing board a little bit, right? So like
yeah, it looks like a really fun game to play.
yeah,
It just
And I
showed
think
up
that's
so many
important.
times.
it's been around.
Because
yeah.
I feel like a lot of their own updates have been so focused on just like lore and like broader universe stuff.
Gunk in
that-
December apparently. From
Yeah.
a blog post.
Nice.
Seeing some good Dying Light gameplay
Not the show.
was good. Yeah, why didn't they have to?
Why didn't they say December?
Why didn't they say December? That's weird.
Very strange.
We're not
Bunch
gonna
of
go back
showcase
and watch the Destiny
Happened
thing
already,
now.
didn't? Is it still going?
No, it ended before this.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody was like,
We
bringing it up.
were looking at it a little beforehand.
Yeah.
But
Where is Halo?
in a half hour though, right? Are we doing it at noon? Stream team? Stream team in a half hour. Damiani, Don, and I, and whoever else wants to hang out, we're gonna play Quake.
Quake.
One of my favorite games from my youth.
That'll be a fun time.
With a controller, no
That'll
less.
be a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
I
played it on my Switch
yeah.
and on PC.
Yeah.
PC obviously way better.
Yeah, but
Works okay.
yeah,
Works alright.
yes.
Yeah.
I think that is the right way to say that.
Quake is a phenomenal game though.
Yeah. Real big shout out to Forza Horizon 5 for hooking us that hard and getting us that on board after
that.
a pretty poor show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and
for that
really-
show to be so poor and for us to be just so invested in Forza, like it looks so good.
And I totally agree with what Blood was saying, right? Like, outside of Bloodworth, like, I don't think we're diehard racing game fans, but, like, all of us want to play this, it feels like, relatively equally. You know, it just looks fun for everyone.
And through the power of Game Pass.
And through the power of Game
And I
Pass.
think what's interesting
It will
about
drop you out of a play.
this Forza presentation doing so well is they didn't do it on some kind of new, like, what's the hook, what's the gimmick. It's just good
driving.
gameplay. It's just good track design.
Yeah.
And a really cool.
They'll tell you when they're going to show
idea.
Halo, when they're going to show it. They should be showing it. You're totally missing the whole point. They should be showing it.
They did a really
tomorrow, I
good.
guarantee.
They did a really good job of showing the biomes in this because
Yeah. Mexico's very diverse.
Yeah, like just showing like the way they did it, dropping them in, new car in each.
Yeah.
Just a really well done presentation for that game. I really want to drive through that though.
I know. I was like, drive through
that's
that.
the thing. You're just gonna know that stuff down. It's gonna be awesome.
Giant corn or whatever that was. I'm sure.
I
it
think
was.
those are bananas.
Oh, banana. Did you know that all bananas are genetically derived from like one kind of banana?
Whoa.
It's all the same banana basically. They're like clones or some weird shit.
Yeah,
I
they
really
grow really
appreciate
weird.
that they're doing that in the trailers too. Like, it's so neat to see them go through and then like just have a car like crash through.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. Every human on Earth deserves to be a trebuchet.
Another thing I actually appreciate that they did not do.
The ones we use are the same. Okay.
Is they didn't have a bunch of canned players like trying to talk to each other as they were crossing through the track.
So awkward.
Yeah.
Good call. Get rid of that.
I want the I'm on Mixer emote.
Yeah. Remember?
I'm on Mixer.
Did I ever have a shirt that said that? I'm on Mixer.
Man. Mixer.
We should make an I'm on Mixer shirt.
We should. They can't sue us.
Wait, what are you gonna
Was there ever a patch notes where they like removed I'm on Mixer from Forza Horizon 4?
There had to have been. Mixer affiliation has been removed.
So it's just Keeley tomorrow and that's it? There's no other press conferences? Or
Right.
No secret
Shredder's
Capcom
Revenge
show? Or...
Not to my knowledge.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
The Street Fighter 6
Capcom's
tomorrow.
last show is not something I want to repeat.
No, goodness. I hope there's nothing else because I'm supposed to go roller skating tomorrow night.
Dragon's Dogma 2 will be there tomorrow.
Oh my god.
No, I'm joking. It is a joke.
It could be. It could be.
But yeah, so tomorrow will be the opening night live, and then Mike and Mike. Are you guys going back to the Ascent, or are you doing something different?
I think we're
sticking with it.
The Ascent.
Sticking with it.
You're not remote this week?
No, because the thing's right.
Yeah, we'll just be here.
Yeah, they'll be here anyways.
I want to play State of Decay 2 now, at least.
Kojima will be wheeled onto stage tomorrow in a blue box.
Kojima and Keeley will announce that they eloped. Since...
Yeah, Keeley will be like, for years he's been my best friend, but now he's my husband.
I wouldn't be surprised if Skyrim showed up tomorrow. And Keeley cracks wise. Keeley's gonna crack wise about it.
Have they shown the fishing?
Yeah.
Have they actually shown
No, they
the
have not
fishing?
shown the fishing. They haven't shown the fishing.
They're
I
gonna
would
show it
love
off.
if they're like, you want gameplay? And they show like an
World
hour of
premiere.
Skyrim. An hour of Skyrim.
Yeah.
World premiere.
World premiere fishing. It's
And
going down.
There's no talking. It's just
Real-time
raw
fishing.
And they go through the opening of Skyrim and they play for like an hour.
The first fucking cutscene.
But that's what I'm saying. Is that what would be funny though is if the fishing is super realistic and you just have to sit there for 30
like an
minutes
hour?
before you get a nibble, and then
Have
you
ever
pull
gone
it. It's like,
fishing,
oh,
dude?
you missed
Takes
it.
forever. Fishing takes forever, dude. And then your uncle tries to get you to drive the boat and you start crying because you're scared. And then you realize that they put kerosene in the boat instead of gas, so you get stranded in the middle of the lake for an hour.
And then you watch a shark show and they catch a shark like faster than you ever caught a fish in your life.
And I hope because it's Keeley, like if they show Skyrim, I want them to say world premiere. Like there's some. Oh.
They have to.
Oh, they'll say world premiere.
They can.
Guaranteed.
We need to have a prediction for how many world premieres there will be
26.
tomorrow.
26, good guess.
Too late in the year.
But no, they'll world premiere like
It's
that
really
Borderlands boat.
That's
you
true.
know?
They say world premiere about stuff that
It'll be
isn't
for
a new
anything.
game. Yeah. So 26.
What happens if you drive into the lava?
I'm curious. There are a lot of rocks around it though, so they might not let you.
Invisible walls.
Does this game have invisible walls? Are there places you can't go? That kind of defeats the
There's definitely edges of the map and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But you can get up to some pretty steep terrain.
Cool.
Every human should get the chance to drive into lava.
I feel like the way Keeley is set up in my mind right now is like he's like a savior.
Yeah.
Always.
Marching in.
Yeah.
St. Keeley.
St. Keeley, dude.
Bringing the gifts.
Because he
he's out of jail
revels
now.
in the. He loves dropping the bombs.
Oh,
more
Yeah.
than
he
anyone.
loves it.
I mean, he's
Loves
hyped for just the trailers of his event. Like he's so excited about
When
it.
he had Elden Ring, like you could taste it. You could
Taste
see
the
it in
hype.
his eyes.
And he's like, this got me out of gamer.
Gamer jail.
Oh, that's so good.
Like you could tell he was about to say Elden Ring right before it happened, or he didn't say it, but you could tell he, Ugh.
WB Games on Keeley's list. Yeah, let's see some data.
Oh,
Ooh,
new
Suicide
Gotham Knights or
Squad,
Suicide
or-
Squad.
Let's
Yeah.
Yo,
see.
Shadow of War 3, let's go.
Let's see
The
that
Mordor.
NetherRealm Marvel fighting game.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Tokyo Slam, 54 months.
unsure what's happening
54
with that
months. Tokyo Slam.
stuff. Nice.
That game's real, right? The Marvel.
It seems like it, but there's not been any.
Yes.
I don't think there's been a leak. I think he's just been hinted at it so heavily that it seems like a foregone conclusion.
Because I was like, yeah, wait, did they?
Yeah, the newest rumor says it's not.
Yeah, the newest rumor is that it may have fizzled out.
That is the latest update, is that they're working on MK12.
But the logic is something about if they're sold, they want to have the IP attached with them, and they don't want to work on a licensed property.
Yeah.
So I guess they own NetherRealm Studios, so still owns Mortal Kombat, I guess.
Yeah, it's very uncertain.
I mean, I would happily take an MK12. So this is not poor
Dawn
news
would
for
love
me.
it. Yeah.
Heard anything about Sony's big event is one of these things that seems to happen. It's going to be happening every week.
Yeah.
It's turning into a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, they're just like, here's a state of play about one thing. Okay.
Whatever that.
No, I mean just the fact that the rumors lately, like it feels like every week is like, hey, you know, there's a Sony thing this Thursday. And like,
yeah.
Like,
They're just
well, if
waiting
there
on
is, then
Last of
we'll
Us.
react to it. But
Faction.
I just want to see some more Final Fantasy 16.
True, that game's coming out soon.
I just want to see it.
Is it?
What?
16?
Blood have scoops here?
Scoops.
It's supposed to be next year, right?
Oh.
There's no
What?
way. There's no way, dude.
You got codes, blood?
Yeah,
You're trying to tell us you got codes?
I remember just even when they announced it, like it seemed like it was coming out really soon.
Every human should have a chance to play Final Fantasy 16.
Absolutely.
I'm jonesing for Tactics so hard. They said Final Fantasy Trebuchet in chat, and I was like, I saw the FFT, and I was like,
They're
Tactics?
not going to be a TGS. I'm curious what TGS will be, if anything, this year. Yeah.
TGS is so weird. Every like 5th year, it's cool.
Yeah, and it's only gotten weirder for sure.
When we were there, it was all mobile games, and it was so strange. And then the year after that, it was awesome. So it was like, all right.
Yeah, I remember the last year I went to TGS, it like felt depressing because like half the place was empty.
It was very strange.
Man, I remember when we reacted to a TGS at Game Trailers and they announced Resident Evil Umbrella Corps. And it was like, oh, it was awful.
Forspoken, yeah, I wonder.
Oh yeah, that game.
I want to see more.
I'm
of
very
that.
interested in that game.
And Avowed, dude. That wasn't here. Like, will we see that game ever again?
Nope.
Nope.
Never again.
Canceled.
Canceled.
Well, cool.
Sweet. We'll be back very shortly.
We'll be back in 20 minutes.
Thank you for joining us and watching the Forza stream.
And we'll react to Gamescom tomorrow at 11 a.m.
No, the pre-show is at 10:30. So we'll start probably like 10:15, 10:20, something like that.
So the real show starts at 10:30.
Well.
Yeah.
According to Bloodworth's.
Because they're
rules.
actually going to be doing announcements
They're showing
and
shows.
stuff.
It's
like,
Kyle. It's the Ouroboros of Easy Allies. We're reacting to ourselves now.
We'll be reacting
We have reacted to Kyle reacting, though.
We've reacted to literally ourselves before,
Yeah.
too. We've reacted to our reactions before.
We'll be reacting to the Silent Hill revival tomorrow at 10:30.
Oh my god. Put it on Switch, you know?
That would be hilarious if something that huge is in the pre-show.
Jeez.
What are the odds of a Shredder's Revenge
Just so
demo?
casually.
How much do I have to pay?
I would
Who do I
say
have to pay?
50%.
Oh wait, they did say Shredder's Revenge would be in there, right?
Yeah, it's gonna
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Oh, if it's confirmed,
The
to be
game
there?
is confirmed,
I
not
think,
a demo.
I think you've got like close to 50%
Demo
chance.
would be great.
Yeah, demo would be great.
Kyle comes out in a Pyramid Head costume. I would love that.
I do think that there will be some demos.
I think that would
tomorrow.
Or dressed as Heather.
that would change how I feel about Pyramid Head forever.
Oh yeah, it would ruin it. It would make it like a sex thing even more than it already is, but like in a not scary way, in like a gross way. You know.
See
We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Bye.
See you for